Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here. Butler's here. You're going to look in your left-hand corner if you're watching on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, or possibly on YouTube, and you're going to see somebody, and we will announce that person soon.
So we got Tuttle on the line.
Okay, there it is.
How you doing, Tuttle?
Hi. Hey, Tom, Dan. How are you?
Good. I see that that's a quality stag you got right behind you.
I think I told you, come get one of these pups, buddy.
Whoa, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does come get one of these pups mean? Is the baby of a staghorn a stag pup?
Yes, it is.
Is it really?
And it's not really its baby. It's more of a piece of its.
It's like they cut off a limb.
Yeah.
It's mutilation.
Is it
basically a limb?
I honestly have no idea because I
babies.
think staghorns are trash trees or trash plants, and anything that you have to chain to a tree should be killed, right? Right?
Yes.
I mean, that sounds like stand-up, but I'm serious. I just wrote that.
It's the plant equivalent to a pit bull in Florida.
It is, yeah. I mean, the only thing it's missing is a sprinkling of gunpowder in its nostrils to make it crazy.
It's all on how you raise your staghorn.
You've been feeding that some bananas there? Yeah, that's
Here, I'll show you.
That's the most you've ever sounded like Norm Macdonald.
I put a banana in there yesterday.
You're feeding that some bananas there, right?
It's kind of shakier. God damn it.
No, okay, I gotta ask something. Okay, staghorns, is there a way to affix them to the tree without having to buy a pit bull chain? Because that's the trashy part that I've been railing about for years. And I say the staghorns are stupid, but the plant's okay.
It's
the
only chain.
Why?
It could only be a chain.
Why?
Because
that doesn't make sense to me.
If you use anything weaker than a chain,
well, what is their natural environment? Chain. Where do you find a natural, healthy staghorn in the state of Florida?
No, there's no wild staghorns anymore. It's only white trash owned now. It's like tigers.
The chain is now part of the evolution of the staghorn.
Staghorns are like tigers in Florida. Only white trash people own them. That's it.
I just don't. I don't understand. I understand that it's for weight. I'm not dumb. I'm just saying, could we find something a bit more organic to
My
affix?
dad has.
No.
My dad has this one on a stand. You know, we were iron workers here. He put his on a stand. It is not actually hanging on a chain.
Oh, so he made a. Okay, now that I approve. If it's free, but I just think the chain is trashy. It's just trash. I don't care what you say.
Man.
I've seen some of the nicest houses.
I'm
You
with
look
you.
up and you see a piece of chain from Ace Hardware and a tree hanging from it. It's like, that's weird.
I'll funnel 2 sponsors over to the Tuttle Daily podcast for that staghorn.
Whoa, you're dealing in sponsors now?
Yeah.
Do we have that many? They're not dollar bills. What is happening?
Yeah,
I mean, who are you giving me? Like,
We're going to give you big head hats and vapor shades.
I'll have to look and see.
There's so many, forgets them all.
Well, I got what about Thompson Gas? They're good at
quality.
Propane. You got propane. You need propane.
Trailer living propane.
Yeah, I knew it.
That's
Trailer living propane. Give it.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
I'll give you. Now, I'm not guaranteeing they'll sponsor your podcast.
No.
They probably won't because
the Thompson family, very respectable, very well known.
Because of
you might have to collar your shirt up a little bit if you want to do a meeting with Thompson.
Your prior indiscriscritions.
Oh, yeah. Your mug shots.
They may be a little hands off.
Make sure you have gum in your mouth when you meet them, because
wait a minute.
Just fresh breath.
Past indiscretions. No. Let's not act like. I mean, not every other former radio person has skeletons in their closet. We all do.
You do, but yours is the only skeleton with a balloon in its butt.
Yeah.
And I can say that.
Yeah, and we can see it.
That's a Dan Dennis promise. Yeah, you can see it, which makes it actually worse than if you were actually alive.
It's right there. It's like someone just
there it is.
fit it in there.
Wow. He's got his pants on the inside.
So, Tuttle,
what about a pest control company? Do you have a pest?
They stole one of my sponsors.
Just saw them today. I love that man.
We stole that one from Samantha.
Yeah.
Hold on. I would like to think that was the token of gratitude that she gave you for hiring her. Right.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
yeah.
I was under the assumption that once we brought her into our family, very incestuous,
Wait,
that
Brian,
her clients
you brought
become
her
our
in?
clients.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Didn't she try to bring COVID into the
Oh,
Tom
that's a
bring it
hot
up.
take. Don't
How
ever bring
dare
that
you?
up.
How dare you?
You trying to break us apart? Next,
don't-
you'll be sending letters to Butler trying to get us fired.
It's
No, it was just but no, last night I was up late. It's me with a metal spatula and a fillet knife because I wanted to stun the rat with the spatula.
Well, hold on. Okay, hold on. You guys
With
get
the
ahead of
fillet
yourself.
knife.
You do this sometimes in your sobriety. You're almost crazier than when you were drunk. And I like it. I like it a lot because you jumped into a story and you're like, hey guys, okay, so I'm with the spatula knife and I'm looking at this rat. It's like, we need a starting point. So
yeah, the alcohol actually dulled the craziness a little bit.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. I think I'm finding that out too. So show me, like, okay, the rat. Where you find a rat? Where
okay, well, okay, last night I was recording an interview, okay? So I got a bunch of ladders stacked up next to the PT Cruiser, and the rat is there on his hind legs.
He's a listener.
About eye level.
He's listening
like
to you.
taunting me. No, he's taunting me. Like he's like poking me in the chest, basically like saying, like, you cannot get me because I have used everything and I can't figure out what, because I've been told Reese's peanut butter cups. I've been told all types of stuff. The glue traps are absolutely horrible.
Rat bait. You need to know what rats. Yeah, I always heard peanut butter was the #1 rat thing when they were getting the rats out of my old house.
Cheese?
No, I think it's an urban legend.
Yeah. They like straight garbage or candy.
Yeah, like every animal that.
Jeez, I don't like
most of the animals that people like villainize, like I would say rats, sharks, alligators. Those three, rats, sharks, alligators, all candy and junk food. That's all they like.
License plate,
whatever it is. Yeah,
Doo-doo.
They'll eat an old clock.
But they were eating up the wiring and stuff here. And,
the wiring in the
this
PT
has been
Cruiser.
happening since.
Oh.
Well, no. What I'm trying to say is that my mom's cat died like about 6 months ago, so that's why I think we're having the rodent problem, because everybody thinks, oh, rodents mean you got a dirty house, and that's not really the case. I don't know. Maybe
it doesn't make it clean.
I mean,
it doesn't mean it's dirty, but it doesn't mean it's clean.
Yeah, I mean, I've never gone on an airplane and had them hand me a rat to wipe my hands with before I sit out.
So Tuttle, I'm in the market for an RV.
Oh, well, you came to the right guy.
Yeah.
you know, you're just like Tuttle. You just randomly say things.
It really is the same.
Well, I was trying to bail Tuttle out of his rat story.
I mean, no. I mean,
you really
listen,
wanted to
when I
bail
was
him
a
out?
kid-
Did you have? There was an indie.
Okay.
Well, he had a knife and a
You
spatula.
were interviewing a rat.
Sorry.
Proceed.
Okay, so no, when I was a kid, I kept telling my mom and dad that there was a monster or something in the bathroom of my bedroom. Yes, I grew up in a double-wide trailer where actually kids' bedroom had a bathroom in it.
Yeah.
And
That's
they
fancy.
thought I was a liar. Thought I was a goddamn liar.
Okay, all right. I know you. That's all you had to say. I
Sorry.
know that tone. No, I know that tone. I know who said that. Bubba Wolf S. Wilson made that famous. I know that means you're dead serious.
Sorry. All right. Well, anyways, we put a glue trap in there, and I heard something moving around, and it was a possum.
Oh
A possum was crawling through our central air vents, and my dad, I was only a kid, and my dad picked out a 7-iron out of the golf.
Seven.
golf
That's it. You know
bag.
what? He's got a big. He's got a lot of power if he's using a 7-iron.
Yeah, and he took care of it. Like basically
wow.
just shaved off the top of his skull.
Laid him up right
and
there on the
that's about
green.
No, I don't know.
Okay, I don't know who you are.
I feel like my first instinct would be to like shoo it out of the house, not to bludgeon it to death in front of my son.
I would probably use a copy of Garden and Guns to shoo it out one of the holes in the walls.
I mean, I have to take bills and a glass cup to get spiders out of the house without hurting its legs.
and I just have little dogs that poop everywhere.
And
And the saddest thing was after my dad bludgeoned the possum to
Wait,
death.
can you pause for 1
Six
second?
babies. 6. Okay. Sorry.
No, I can't do that now.
my
My God.
God.
Hold on. Pause right there. We'll be right back. No, what happened?
6 babies crawled out of its patch. And my dad murdered them as well.
Oh no! Come on! No, we didn't.
That's a
No,
heavy,
Things are starting to piece together for
heavy
me.
story. My
No.
God,
As
the
far
old
as,
Seminole massacre.
Tuttle's
No,
mental
Oh my
health.
God.
no, he just he
Didn't
bludgeoned them to
Seven
death.
iron the babies.
Yes, well, I mean, if they don't have a pouch to go into anymore, then
Yeah, well, the
might
pouch
as well
is-
take care of them.
The pouch is laying up on the green about 4 inches from the cup.
All right, so
right,
now
so
are you?
RV.
I could have gone to the RV 5 minutes ago.
I apologize. You should have just kept going with the RV.
I know. Well, I felt
also-
it. I felt the baby killing coming. That's why I swerved. I saw
I
it.
also apologize.
I saw it from a mile away.
Samantha, that's a double apology. And
Yeah,
Butler's not
yeah.
even listening, but he apologizes as well. You were correct, and you, sir, may proceed with RV talk.
So,
So all right, go ahead. So you're wanting an RV. Are you wanting like fifth wheel, or are you wanting a straight up like RV?
I
want an
when
RV, but Andrea doesn't want.
when you turned the camera, I saw that RV in the background,
Oh.
and I may be interested in it.
Yeah.
And I know that and
What
Tuttle,
year is that?
everything
That's a-
has a price tag.
Yeah, that's an old-
Wait, are you talking about this one right there?
Yeah.
Hey, what is that? That's a 1987 Fleetwood Prowler.
Wait, no. That one. Hold on. Sorry, I'm backwards here. That's my my windscreen right there. It's a lawn chair that I tied upside down there. By the way, it's very ghetto studio I have.
No, I like it. Your soundproofing is top notch.
You got a rat tail for your mic.
You know what's funny is you sound better than most podcasts. Guys. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me. I think you sound great.
I've heard
Turns
much
out
worse.
one Staghorn will absorb all the sound. We spent
Hold on.
$2,300 on soundproof
My
in the
God.
studio. We just need
Live from the beautiful Staghorn Studios in Hobo Fish Camp.
Staghorn Studios, dude. You
could-
should incorporate Staghorn Studios.
We
Yeah.
could have just got one Staghorn and then saved all this money.
Probably because he sounds.
Yeah, but then more due to flies are being
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk to somebody super famous and they'll sound like crap. But Tuttle can sit at the Hobo Fish Camp in front of an old trash plant and sounds beautiful.
So, Tuttle,
I'm talking on a triple mic.
how's business going?
There's some sponsors that are not paying. How do you guys?
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a
If
problem.
there's some sponsors that are not paying.
Yeah.
This
We've
is-
had this. We've had this problem
This
before.
is the darker side of the business.
See, what happens is they start
How
paying.
long do you give them? How long do you give them?
I give forever.
There's a bit of a disagreement with you all.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
This is-
some that
I've
are
heard
still
some of the
on.
discussions
Yeah,
with
this is-
Butler and Tom.
Yeah, this is where mommy and daddy fight sometimes. And
I
then,
give 'em forever,
And then
forever.
And then I have to march to Publix and eat a sub mat.
There's no ending. There's so
Like I can't get a hold of my merch guy. I think
Oh, yeah,
he
that happens.
might be. I think he might be rotting away in an apartment.
Oh yeah.
Do a wellness check,
with
man.
a shotgun
Yeah,
blast or
sometimes.
something.
See, this is okay, Tuttle. You are experiencing
Growing pains.
The standard growing pains of a small business. Podcast business is no different than any other business, where it starts out strong, right, Tuttle?
Yeah.
Like you get some hype behind you. People start hearing you're
Yeah.
doing things. You get on the Tom and Dan
You're,
show.
you're also kind of on your ass a little bit, like you're watching your P's and Q's. You know,
yeah. You haven't
Yeah.
you gotten any
you're sharp. You know, your edge is
dust
sharp.
ups.
You've used that honing steel, and you came in razor sharp.
Yeah. You're in a new media form that a bunch of advertisers are eager to get involved in because everything's going digital, everything's going social media. Like everybody, all businesses are realizing, like, oh, I gotta switch to this. So you started hot, right? And then you get some people behind you. You got the buzzard or whatever,
Vulture.
and then you got
Vulture.
It's highly disrespectful when you do that. It's almost more disrespectful than if you just called him a bad word because it means that you don't really care.
How dare you?
I don't think
It's
you
all
know.
bullying.
You know he's a lifelong Marine, right? You know that he's been a Marine his whole life.
I've never seen him. He could be an actual vulture for all I know.
Well, I'll put him on the long list of people that will eventually kill me. I was telling Buller about one today. I was like, this guy will probably kill me. Anyway, so you got the Vulture, you got a new producer. Who knows who that is?
You have a new producer?
Oh, I mean, Vulture is my producer. I got a production
and then there's a 2-for-1 book.
Okay, hey Tom. Listen,
I'm trying to help you.
I can easily get him to come down and talk to you face to face and stuff. You know, I mean, if you
listen, I'm already talking to the Vulture about some business, and
we
he's
might be
eager
we
to.
might be pulling the Vulture over to Team Tom and Dan.
Yeah.
that would be my luck. You guys would just steal, you know, and you're gonna give me Butler.
TDB.
That's what we do with every podcast.
Oh, please send Butler to the fish camp.
Oh, hold on a second. We doing trades? Hold on.
Hold on. How much to trade Vulture for
And in
Butler?
the first round of the podcast trade-off,
I'll give you.
Orlando's Tom and Dan send point guard Travis Butler to the Hobo Fish Camp for center Vulture.
I'll give you. Hold on. This is like the Deshaun Watson trade. It's
Okay.
I don't know if the Vultures have any massage indiscretions.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Does he keep his feathers in his pants? This Vulture?
Yes, he does. No, this
All
is like when we picked Chris Webber at the Orlando Magic and got Penny Hardaway. You know. So,
Okay, if we bring...
I'll give you Butler 5 straw hats.
Whoa, hold on.
That's a lot.
I'll give you the contact of Thompson Gas.
No, that's a good one.
Can I
And
get some magnets?
Magnuts.
yeah.
Only the ones that are shaped like scrotums. They're called magnuts. It's a new thing.
Magnets. Sorry,
we-
magnet.
No, magnuts.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay.
magnets. It's M-A-G nuts. N-U-T-S.
We'll give you 45 Magnuts. And what else do we got?
Orlando Magnuts. Orlando Magnuts.
Can you help me get my PT Cruiser wrapped?
Yes.
Like, do you know anybody?
What do you want
that
it wrapped
does
in? Cellophane? We got you.
We've had wrapping is harder than we thought.
Yeah.
It's been years.
Well, it's a bit of a shim trade.
Yeah.
You know, the people that wrap, no offense, but if you wrap cars, you're either really good.
Yeah. I like that.
I own
Yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah, leave them on the top.
So
Now, how do you get your sponsors that are not paying? to pay? Like,
back
I
to
mean-
this. Back to this.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is what happens, Huddle. So,
I
you
remember.
get them. Everybody's excited. You're like, this will work. This will work. And then there's usually a couple months where it doesn't work, right? And then there's more months where it doesn't work, right?
Yeah,
so then
yeah.
they get scared, right? Because they're like, oh my God, I've been shim-shammed
Well, we got the way that it's happening.
by Staghorn Productions. and then they're like, how? I knew it. I knew it. And then my wife told me not to get involved. She told me just to advertise Orlando Weekly. And then, so instead of, because everybody's awkward, Tuttle, I'm awkward, everybody doesn't want to have any awkward conversations.
Well, you started getting ghosted.
I
So-
love it.
so
I
Well,
love
you
it.
started getting the it'll be soon. I put it in the mail. It'll
Oh,
be
yeah,
soon.
yeah. So-
I put it in the mail.
So
So we
they-
got some of that.
First, then they say they put it in the mail, right? So you're, thank you very much, thank you.
Oh my God! Did you go back in time to do that? Because
And then like 2
Who
weeks
writes
later.
checks? Who writes checks?
Tom Van.
Yeah.
we actually write a lot of checks.
He's an old
I
grandfather.
have
Are
a
you
big book.
floating? Are you floating checks?
Well, it's not
Yeah.
floating. The money's
Yeah.
there, but it's there 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, I gotta
Yeah, yeah.
wait.
It's
to
future.
cash
He
it.
can't make the checks float, but we do steal from other places.
Yeah, it's future money. Then you
Yeah.
got to take the money from this and put it here and here. It's a big
Yeah.
circle.
Right now, we're what is it? 2021. We're in 2023
Yeah.
on the budget.
Yeah. And then and we're still getting investors, and then we're paying our old investors with the new investors'
Yeah.
money. It's a whole thing.
It's kind of
it's
like
how
a-
business is done.
It's a circle relationship. It's symbiotic, but it's sort of shaped like a pyramid.
so
It sounds like the plot of Wolf of Wall Street, basically.
so then
That's
So then, Tuttle, they say it's in the mail. It's in the mail. Then you have an awkward conversation, like because then the person ghosts you for a while, right?
Well, yeah. Then you get there not picking up.
and then you call them with a different phone, so they
Wait,
know
is
it's
that
not
what
you.
that's what I did, right?
And then
Wait, but
well, I'll
then
tell
isn't
you,
it awkward
you're
if they
not in
pick
there.
up?
We're not to me yet.
Yeah. You're
Oh.
the last of line.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Then you're gonna help Tuttle get his money. So
man.
here's the thing. So then you call them with a different cell phone, and they pick up. And then you're
That's
like,
awkward.
And you're like, hey, it's me.
You mother.
And then like, oh, hey, did you get the check? I'm like, nah, it didn't come. They're like, did you check the mail? And then I'm like, yeah. Did you check all the boxes? And I'm like, well, I didn't check the studio. Like, I think it's in the studio,
bushes.
not the PO box. You're like, oh, okay, sorry. And then you're like, oh my god, like I insulted this guy.
How dare you?
And then you're like, oh, and he's like, yeah, it's in there. You go, thank you. And then you hang up and you go, and nothing.
And then you gotta give it 5 more months.
Yeah. Then 5 more months. Then you have a nervous breakdown because you're like, I can't do this anymore. This business is too hard. Like, no one pays anything. I'm like, I'm not cut out for this.
People aren't
I'm
honest.
an idiot.
Yeah.
I was a clown. I have no business doing
People
this.
aren't honest. I mean, they're trying to cheat
Who
you.
thought I could do this? This is stupid.
And then
Crystal told me.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
then Daniel comes in and he's like, I'll call that MF. And then Daniel calls and then starts threatening the receptionist.
I did call. I got the receptionist.
Not threatening.
I did not threaten.
But
I
you
told her.
threatened to tell the world. You threatened. You said that.
I said, "Are you being paid?" Is the first thing I asked her. And she said yes, and I said, "Well, I'm not."
Yeah. And they're like, one day you won't either.
That is what I said.
and then you embarrass the person's employees, and then all of a sudden, bring PayPal.
It was like that. It was like
That's how it works.
It was like we called it.
That's how business works.
Like 25 minutes later, Sam Tom was in there eating, and he's like, "Oh, it just came through."
What is the worst business deal that you have made since you've been doing the podcast? Tom,
I can't even.
Try to answer it honestly.
There's
Try to
probably
answer it
one this
honestly.
morning. Like, I don't know. They keep getting worse. Well, I will tell you the most embarrassing early on. And we've told this story before.
I love how people are slamming us in the chat room, especially me for not paying Casey, our editor at Real Radio. But we want our money. You're right. You're 100% right.
What's that? Listen, if they're gonna do to us, we'll do to them, but not them, but other people.
If they
don't deserve
People
it,
that don't deserve it, yeah.
Look,
we'll
if
do it
you-
to the people we love.
If you put one of ours in the hospital, I'll put Casey in the grave. Like, why? Why would you do that? I don't know. I'm mad.
So
it took 2 months for me to get paid for being special guest referee against Seth Petrozelli and stuff.
Oh God, that was 3
Yeah.
years ago. It was a different world then.
hold on, I just got mad that I paid you for that.
Hey, I know. God, I looked at some of those pictures, and I looked so disgustingly fat and
I just saw you.
unhealthy.
I thought you looked good. It looked like you got your life together. Got a job at Foot Locker. Killing it.
So
don't know.
there was one of our first sponsors ever, because we didn't have that many sponsors. We just relied on subscribers, BDMs first, and because we still work for a company, blah blah blah. And then we got some money from this app called Word-A-Bugs.
It's called Word of Bugs. Think
It was one of our first ever sponsors.
Think remember when
11
Words
years
with Friends
ago.
was popular about, was it like 10 years ago or something? It's got to be like that now. Words with Friends was huge.
know.
It's kind of like the same thing.
So I had no idea, because we didn't know what to charge this person for advertising, or we didn't have any advertising packages. But I was like, well, I can do this. I'll just make it up, like everything. So I was like, we'll do this, and for $250, which at the time I thought was like, oh my God, no one's gonna pay this.
Well,
this is an absurd amount of money I'm asking for.
And we were preparing to set aside each a cool $125 for our daughters and sons' college education, because we thought we had hit the mother
And I'm
load.
like, if we make this, we'll never work again.
And I'm like, I believe you.
But Tom, though, remember back in the day, like all the at our old station, like all the big names. Like if there was a promotion to go stand in front of a 7-Eleven or something, they'd be like, no, we're good. And then it would be like all the hungry part-timers that are sold like, hey, this is a great opportunity for you. We would all jump on that money for those 7-Eleven gigs. I would stand out in front of any single place for that amount of money.
$150 an hour.
Who wouldn't do that? I mean, you'd be stupid to not do that.
Well, if you're rich already, you don't know.
So in all seriousness, are you having some issues collecting? Because
Anyway.
I personally believe that Tom's approach, even though we told that story and it's funny, I believe that Tom's approach to it is the best approach because there are times when people get in a pickle. We know what it's like to get in a pickle.
Well, here's the funny thing of the Wordabug story is then maybe 3 weeks later, we see a PayPal because we used to have a donation button on our front of our page. And then we saw someone donated $250 to our PayPal. And we're like, oh, man, this guy's an ultra listener. He's awesome.
Yeah.
We should send this guy a thank you email.
I mean, who would send us $250?
And then we wrote this email, but me and Daniel like to
pour on the snark, pour on the Tom and Dan thick.
We like to mess because we're like, if he listens to us, if he's that much of a listener, just give us $250, then he knows that we're messing around with him. So
Let's give him the full Tom and Dan.
Yeah. So we started bullying him. We called his wife fat. This whole thing. Like we didn't even know who this was.
Yeah, we did call his wife fat, which I don't know why we did that.
And then we sent it, and we're like, he'll get a kick out of that because he's an ultra listener.
And we're like, delivering the goods.
It was a Wordabug advertising.
Yeah, it was the advertiser.
Oh,
he paid us through the
man.
donation button, and we called his wife fat.
Because we forgot.
Jesus.
No, we didn't say fat. I think we said a bitch. We're like, too bad. We were just saying.
We're riffing.
We didn't even know him. We didn't even know the advertiser. And then anyway, so that was pretty embarrassing.
I'm thinking about the Spanish family that I've been giving free fish to that owe me some favors. That they actually have they have some pretty large sons in the family, if you know what I'm saying. And it just maybe get my money.
So you're saying
you got a lot of bills out.
So you just hired 2 of the Hobo Fish Camp's able boys to beat up people to get your money? Are you starting?
Well, no, it's
Hobo
a
Fish Camp Mafia?
Yeah, Fish Camp Mafia.
No, it's a Spanish family that I've been giving mangrove snapper to. And they couldn't pay at the time, so I said, later down the road.
This sounds like Mayans, the continuation of that stupid motorcycle show.
Are you
that
watching
everybody
that?
No,
Yeah.
I
I
should
heard
be.
it's good,
Yeah, I heard it's really good too. But it sounds like you're getting into a bit of organized pod crime.
Total. You need to get into the echelon of business where that you just get lost in. Apparently this happens because every once in a while businesses will send out these letters to anybody that's billing them saying hey, we're restarting our billing cycle over, or we're having
changed our system.
We're having to crack down on fraud because if a business gets big enough, apparently they just get sent invoices, and the invoices get sent to their accounting department and get paid. And so scam artists realize that they could just send invoices to mass amount of businesses, and some would just pay because that's what they do. They pay invoices. So they have to restart that every once in a while. Anyway, you need to get stuff.
My PayPal has been shut down 5 separate times of trolls sending me invoices for stuff to pay. And then after I ignored them for a while, PayPal will shut my account down until I clear it up. And I'm like, this is a poor business model. If anybody can just send me an invoice for work that I have not even done for them.
But
that's weird.
You just don't. I mean, if you get the invoice, you just don't pay it.
That's what he's saying. He's saying that
I didn't pay it.
Yeah, and he's saying that PayPal then looks at it as if he's maybe being fraudulent and then shuts his account down.
Weird.
I've never heard of that. That would be a huge problem. And I remember, and I don't even want to bring this up because I know it makes you mad, Tom, but I know of times when Tom has had to contact PayPal. And it is not fun. And I know you dislike it a lot. I remember you did it once with something, I believe, with your brother. And I mean, you did it once, something with our company. And both times it was horrible.
Yeah.
Because they're not really humans there. It's kind of like you have to go through email call center or whatever. And then make an appointment time to maybe get somebody to buzz you back. And it's next to impossible.
Yeah, we're gone. The day and age of customer service is done.
It's weird.
There's no more. It's just a computer.
Yeah.
I remember the...
Pabone wants to do a Fish Camp Mafia shirt for you if you're into that.
Okay, yeah. I'm
That's
down.
actually a really decent idea.
I remember the first time I got one of those AI calls, that artificial intelligence calls that, will actually carry on a conversation with you.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever gotten one of those where like it'll be like, I mean, at first you don't realize it sounds very robotic, but it actually will like adapt to the questions that you answer.
Yeah, but it doesn't work perfectly. Like Daniel
No, it
freaked it out one
Yeah.
time because you could tell by the pause, like a
Hi.
human. Yes, yeah.
It's me, Dan.
Yeah, there's a weird negative sound
I'm fine
pause.
today. How are you?
Like when a normal human pauses, you could still hear
Like
some
background
sort of
noise.
yeah, something,
It's
some
dead
audio.
silent.
So you say hi, and then the void of silence. You're
Yeah.
like, whoa, are you there?
What if I started
I'm here.
talking to you guys like that? What if I was like, hi,
Yeah,
how
but-
are you today,
We can,
Tom?
I could hear you breathe though.
Yeah, but
Oh,
there's
I gotta-
still.
I gotta go
it's-
cold?
Yeah, you gotta go.
It's gonna
Hi.
be mic off.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can do this.
No, they have their compressor set way high.
Hi, Tuttle. Oh, that's hard. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't do
no.
it. You gotta be dead.
So Tuttle,
Yeah.
I think you just have to push past this small down
Small
period
setback.
in small business. A lot of here. In honesty, the other small businesses, everybody struggles and stuff, and like people get busy, so they'll pay their bills, and you'll be fine.
Can I ask, like, today I am doing show number 364. So
Wow.
I am about to do
1 year.
a full year. Now, I
Congratulations,
would like
man.
to. Can you guys remember what your downloads were like? Because I kind of want to like gauge
Yeah.
how I'm doing compared. Like, can you guys even realize or remember
Yeah, I
what
do.
your first year of
Yeah.
downloads was?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We
Bye-bye.
went-
Thank you. And bye-bye. Yeah, that's where I was
Yes,
gonna-
we can.
I like this new, like, now I'm gonna start doing interviews.
Don't elaborate. Just give
I want to
yes or
start
no
doing
answers.
interviews like, and he's not like this now, but we used to, when you get Marlon Wayans on the phone, sometimes he likes to play around a little bit, and he can answer things like short and just like next thing, and I kind of like that. It's kind of fun. Yeah, do you remember what it was? I think I remember.
Of the full year or per episode?
I remember what we were getting per episode, I believe. It was between 300 and 500.
No, it was more than that.
Was it more than that?
Oh, yeah.
In the early on, I remember
Yeah,
it was
but after
real
a full
low.
year, it was way more than that. I think.
Then I don't know.
Yeah.
Are we talking worldwide or just? I mean, were you able to get those
Yeah, we were
type
on
of
the internet.
analytics back in the day?
No, I mean
It
we've
was
been on
worldwide.
Libsyn for like 12 years, or
years,
whatever,
yeah.
11 years. So
But I mean, you were doing it on like Justin TV at one time, and then
Streaming
I
there.
guess you guys were uploading it to iTunes. I think that was the only game in town at the time.
but here's the thing.
All through Libsyn.
12 years ago, Tuttle, podcast downloads were way higher than they are now
Oh,
because
yeah.
now it's so
Is
diluted.
it just too diluted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll never be what it was. Like back then, there would be podcasts, Mark Maron would get, a million downloads, some ridiculous amount. Like people were getting
There are less
huge.
places to go.
So now it's just, it's too diluted and spread out. So everybody's fighting for a smaller pocket of engaged audience, and that's all that matters.
Okay.
At
Pretty
least in my opinion.
Here's another question that I have for you guys, because I seriously do think, and I'm not like just marking out to you guys when I say this, but I mean, you guys are like at the top of the mountain when
are.
it comes to podcasting in the area.
I gotta
okay?
tell you, it's cold up here.
Now let me ask you. I've been doing my
Frozen
recorded
corpse.
show that I put out.
I have to walk by every day.
Yeah, every day we walk
Yeah.
past all
Just
of these dead guys.
All
Push
the dead
them off the
frozen bodies.
side.
Yeah.
I don't even need a Sherpa anymore. I do this every day.
Here's the thing, Everest mountain climbers. Like I understand you use the frozen corpse as a marker. It's like past Charlie, the guy with the orange
Vest,
vest,
yeah,
or
whatever.
Just push him off the side.
Yeah.
You don't have to look at. Who cares
Well,
if he's
roll him
there?
down.
or-
Okay, I'm with you, but leave his hat so he still have a marker.
yeah, but the corpse anyway. So yes, Tuttle, go ahead.
So what I'm asking is, I've been doing my recorded show, and then I do my YouTube live stream at 8 p.m. every night.
Yeah.
And I've been pulling the audio from the YouTube and repurposing it. Is that like a good idea or a bad idea? Because not everybody can listen to the YouTube live stream. So I'm taking the audio and providing that on my audio podcast.
I think more is more. Just put yourself in every position you can. Why not?
Here's what you need, Tuttle. I was just talking to Busey. I was texting him yesterday, and my God, he has turned his compound into like.
No, he's
we're talking about Mike Busey.
Yeah, Mike Busey. He's got a
Juicy Busey.
a motorcycle track. He's got he's a wedding chapel.
He's been busy.
Yeah, this past year
he classed up the joint.
He's got full RV hookups around his lake with like rental boats.
How about come out there and bring the kids?
Boxing ring, like it's just gigantic, all sectioned off. Anyway, that is.
Where's Maisie? Oh, she's
at
over.
41,
she's spitting into a blender.
At 41, I will still stunt. At 41, I will still stunt.
But what I'm saying is
Please
that his business model is all subscribers.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need advertising. Yeah, he has advertisers and stuff, but that's not his like he's subscribers. And there's tons of people that make primarily all their money through subscribers. And I think you need to go subscriber route because advertiser route is hard.
How do I do that? How do I do that then? Because like I'm averaging in between 400 and 600 downloads, 400 and 600 downloads a day.
Yeah, that's great.
Then you gotta set up like a Patreon or a model like that and start getting some money flowing.
Yeah. You need some sort of subscriber content because out of that 600 downloads a day, 20% will be the hardcore Tuttle audience,
especially in the beginning too.
That will pay monthly or pay for exclusive rare content. Now you're gonna have to give them the goods. I don't know what that means, but you get what you pay for. Like I don't know what
the OnlyFans.
I dog it. I dog it some days. You know me, Tom. I'm not the professional at all. I just I call it in every once in a while. So
I'm just saying it may be extreme. Maybe they want. I don't know what they want.
I think they want the OnlyFans experience, and maybe they want you to
You got to ask your listeners, your audience, what they want from you, and then what they're willing to pay, and then have them fund you. Because 100 guys paying $5 a month will be a nice chunk that you could build your Tuttle empire with.
So you're saying OnlyFans page then?
Or whatever,
I'm not
and they're all, Patreon, it's all the same.
It's all the same.
I think they all allow you to do whatever the hell you want for your subscribers, right?
Not all of them, but you can find one that fits your needs, sure.
Yeah.
They're out there.
Do you think fans would pay to watch me take care?
Yes, people will watch anything.
Of yourself.
Yeah, people will watch anything. It's a stupid thing to
But will they pay the second month? Is the question.
I'm probably only good that for about 3 months.
I don't know.
3 months.
Well, he's a friend of mine. I go 1 month, I'm like, that is horrible. Second month, I'm like, God damn it. Third month, I'm like, is that still on? I'm like, shut it down, Sam. Then I blame you for it, yell at you.
So I don't know what they want from you. They want something though, because they're listening to you and they're consuming your content, but they always want something more.
Yeah,
and you got to give it to them.
What if what about Vulture? Is he a good-looking guy?
I would say so. Marine.
Well,
Tuttle.
I don't know.
Could you? Okay, this is extreme, but you're desperate. Desperate people do desperate things.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah,
is there a lady around the Hobo Fish Camp that maybe would be willing to partner with you?
Oh, okay, I like this. Collaborations, as they're called in the influencer world.
And some sort of content that you're. It could be anything you want. I don't know. You
have to go on Twitter though. And you have to go. I'll be in the Hobo Fish Camp area for 2 weeks. So if anybody wants to shoot, hit me up. Deuces.
Okay.
#drip.
Now,
or maybe you get with some other Instagram like influencer and get them over there, like
like Jake Paul.
Yeah, well, I'm
Logan
thinking,
Paul.
That may be easy,
You got to get Logan Paul there. That's the only way.
Or Dave Portnoy, or Dave Portnoy.
Get Froggy Fresh.
Or like Fart Gas Mask.
Okay, Fart Gas Mask.
Anastasia.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up. We had the fart bucket when I worked with Bubba that I would have to put my head.
I thought it was a
Yeah,
poop bucket.
Ooh.
And I got farted on every single day for a whole year.
Okay, what about this, Tuttle? Maybe your audience,
that.
they subscribe and pay. You do a stunt a week on video.
Yeah, I would pay for that.
and then
Self-fart bucket?
and then they see, and you just take all the stunts you've done
Yeah.
throughout the
Bring out some classics.
20 years of radio, and maybe once a week is a little beat
Once a
yourself
month.
up.
No, but then let them vote to see which one. You
Yeah.
do some of the classics. Bring back some of the ones that people love, like smoking pubes.
Yeah,
Who doesn't love smoking pubes?
Well, one of the stunts that we did,
It's one of the greatest.
Tom claimed that somebody broke into his house and took the video camera of the footage of a scooter jousting at the Citrus Bowl that never made the light of day.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
they stole
Man,
that. Yeah.
you're really holding on to that, aren't you?
God, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah. How long you been sitting on
I don't
that?
even remember that.
You know what's weird is like there's like back then with 70,000 people, and then we had one tiny what is that? Those mini
TV.
video cameras,
Yeah.
and that was the only video evidence of
It
that
wasn't
ever
me,
happening.
was it? It was like, who videoed it? Because
I had it.
I know I
Oh,
was
you-
really into mini DVs too. No. I'm just saying I don't think I filmed that.
Someone, and maybe Crystal or someone. I gave it to some. I don't know who, but
Everybody
yeah,
had one of those for a minute.
They broke in, stole my camera and my whole video bag in Heroin Alley. But there was no cell phone camera. There was no other. You know what I'm saying? That is ridiculous to even think about that.
It is weird.
70,000 people standing there, and not one person had any video of
No.
evidence of anything.
Crazy.
Now there would be
All right,
60,000 videos, huh?
Sam's giving you the wrap up, so I can,
Oh, I forgot you could see it.
Boring as hell.
We pushed past that. I saw it. I was like, not today.
They push past it all the time. They
I'm like-
don't ever listen.
I looked at the number and I go, we got 6 more minutes of Staghorn.
Yeah, and by the way, that's not the brake signal. You know, like I learned from Daniel, it's the 2 hands over the top of your head.
Break the turd.
You know,
Break the turd.
Yeah.
Break the stick, break the turd.
So, Tuttle,
Yeah.
where can people listen and or hear about your new subscriber service once
Okay.
on a week?
Well, every night at youtube.com/Tuttle, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button because a lot of people are not alerted. See, people don't understand that about YouTube. I wanted to do the Twitch route, but it just seems like you can get away with more on YouTube than you can Twitch, in my opinion.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
no,
can see that. And you like to ambush people. Your style is a little more, like a little more out there than ours. We're kind of easing into like comfortable dad business potting, and you're more of a loose cannon Staghorn kind of guy. you know?
But I've been, okay, here, let me ask you this. My YouTube content that I recorded that I haven't posted yet is me showing how to clean a fish.
Oh, that's great.
Would that get me in trouble with PETA?
No, if you're going to cut the fish open and put it on your head like a hat and run around, yeah, I think so. But if you're going to clean it and then use it to cook food, I can't see where that would.
Yeah.
It's all intent, right?
You're not like pulling it out
You're not
and
stabbing its
torturing
eyes.
it.
Yeah. He's like-
torturing it. It's like already dead.
Yeah.
You're cutting it open.
You're filleting it like a gentleman would to serve fish to his family.
Yeah.
Fish is great.
Actually, I like to clean my fish while they're still alive.
Oh, okay,
It's
yeah.
fucked up.
There it is. There.
Okay.
All right, Tuttle, plug your stuff.
Oh, yeah. The Tuttle Daily Podcast is available on iTunes Podcasts. It's available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Amazon, 315live.com, or you can check out my website, Tuttle.net. I could not get Tuttle.com because some a-hole actually bought it and wanted to charge me $12,000 for it, and I told him to F off.
And I paid our lawn guy to come right to the door during plugs. I go wait for plugs to come right to the door.
Blow
Blow the
leaf
plugs
blower.
away.
All right, Tuttle. We'll talk to you next month.
See you, man. We love you.
All right.
See ya.
Bye,
good.
guys. Love you, Tom
See ya.
Fan.
Bye-bye.
Oh, he loves you too.
No,
All right,
no.
bye. He doesn't love you. And he'll never love you.
Tuttle's out on the downturn.
Yeah, I told Sam this morning we were
It
talking
wasn't as
about
manic
it.
as normal.
I told her. I said he's gonna be pretty normal because he's been sober for a while now.
Oh, yeah, that's where. Yeah.
And he's starting to, and then he's gonna do what I do. He's like, I've been sober for a while now. It's time to get funny again.
I've lost it. I've lost the juice.
Exactly.
And then you get on hard.
And then you go, bye-bye.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler is here. How you doing, buddy? Good morning.
Good.
Or good. Well, almost afternoon.
So, Tom and Dan, landcruise.com. If you want some tickets, there may be some left, 1 or 2 boxes by now. Anyway, want to thank Just Call Mo and also ABC and Sports Subaru for sponsoring our event on April 17th. You can go to tomanddanlandcruise.com.
Yep.
And speaking of cruise sponsors, we have a sponsor in studio, Deborah from Fairvilla Megastore. How you doing, Deborah?
I'm doing great.
We haven't seen you in a minute. It's always
I
nice to
know.
have you come in.
You've been traveling.
We have, yeah. We just got back from Colorado, and I was telling you a little bit during the break, rather, of how poor I am at skiing, but how good my daughter is at skiing, and that's all that matters.
That's
Yeah.
the way it goes.
Yeah. I'm a little old to be learning it, but hey, I did it.
That's right.
I did it.
So, Deborah, how you doing?
It's crazy. This is the week that our F Awards are being announced on our Facebook and Instagram pages.
Yes.
Pretty exciting.
It's crazy that it's been a year since, because somehow time has gone by slow and fast at the same time. I don't
Right?
know how that
Yeah.
has
We
missed
bizarre.
a year.
And for people like
yeah,
me,
but it seemed slow when it was going on. But now that it's been a year, it's like, whoa, that happened fast.
100%. If you watch on Twitch, twitch.tv/TomandDanLive, you'll notice that most of the time I go to Sam or Tom for anything that I have to remember because I just have a very poor memory. This year has been exceptionally bad because I don't really, even markers that I would typically use to try to line, it's all running together. In fact, when we were talking to you guys about even doing some presentations or whatever for the F Awards, I kind of thought we'd just done it.
I know, it's weird, right?
Yeah, it's insane.
It was a blink of an eye. And for us to take this virtual, we're a little sad because we're known for our in-person events. And last year you guys were there.
Yeah.
But, we want to be safe, but we still want to celebrate all the great products that we sell.
Sure.
So for all the way till next Wednesday, we're announcing different categories of awards. And you can find out every day there's going to be a new announcement that includes today. Check us out online on our social media.
Last year at the F Awards, I was eating a chicken sandwich next to Butler as
No, you're going to bring this up.
and we were in the video section, and he was,
Nice.
because Butler is a baby, he's older than I am. But a lot of people don't
Yeah, a lot
realize
of people
that
don't know
Butler's older than
he's the oldest member of the show at 51.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that.
And he's looking and laughing like a child at all.
He's doing like the cartoon, like it doesn't even seem real. He's like, like it's cartoon stoner laugh.
Yeah.
And then he messed up the person's name when I presented with him. It was embarrassing.
Oh, did he? I forgot about that.
So
Yeah,
embarrassing.
that is right.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you remember we messed up the name?
We knew he was going to mess
Yeah.
it up. I said there's a 100% possibility that you
I looked
I
into
wanted
his
to
eyes.
switch with Dan and have Dan present with me and Butler present with Tom.
No, that would
No,
have been
that
very
would've
bad.
been
No,
the
I'm
best.
always with Tom. If you go Tom, you get Dan. That's the way it works. It's always. I'm the
Stony
wart.
Baloney Brothers.
I am the
presenting them.
wart on the side of him. I will never leave. But yeah, I did mouth to him when he messed up on stage. I was like, "That's your client." Just to watch him sweat.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
Yeah.
So let's talk some products you brought in today, because we have a whole table full. So
Yep, I brought some things that represent some of the nominees
All right.
for this week, and some of the really fun stuff, just so you don't forget that we carry some of these really interesting products. And Gumball Poodle was actually nominated in 2 categories. Gumball
Tom
Poodle are
loves Gumball Poodle.
socks.
Oh.
And one happened to be a specific sock that I could not bring in and show anybody because it was a little more graphic.
Oh my
But it
god.
basically talked about how you kind of like to do yourself. And
Oh.
but I brought a couple other fun ones. The Be Kind to Animals or I'll Kill You sock.
nah,
Nice. And then
Those
of
are
course
great.
in lieu of our current situation, social distancing sucks, but please do it.
those
So,
are cute.
these are fun, but there are all kinds of variety of Gumball Poodle, and we sell them so well year round. And
They're good
Winter-
quality socks
yeah,
too. They're nice.
yeah,
I got
great.
gifted a pair of these kind of crazy socks.
Yeah.
They're good. They're good socks.
yeah, so win or lose, you have to come by and check out the Gumball Poodle because
Yeah, these are cool, man.
it's a strong nominee.
And they're not very. They're a value. They're not very expensive at all. You can get like
and you can have some fun.
a cool little novelty gift, and you don't, and it's a little more. It's like somebody asked me the other day, like, how would you describe the novelty products or the fun products that Fairvilla has? And I came up with this. I thought it was pretty good. Like there have been, we all know that one particular store that's been in the mall that we all know about that
Yes.
carries sometimes at these stores.
Yeah.
But their stuff's been dialed down. It's not,
The quality.
yeah, and it's not as edgy or not as cool.
Yeah.
So if you want to be able to still get what maybe you got in the late 80s, early 90s, like
You
I
gotta
did,
come down.
you gotta come to
Yeah.
Fairvilla because there is it is a
It's
step
all
above.
vetted, super high quality stuff.
You
for,
pick this
know.
stuff
Right.
personally.
We
so
do.
It's,
Yeah, our
it's-
buyers really pride themselves on picking the best stuff and
Yeah.
some of the funniest and so on. And we also have like a wellness category. And one of the companies we really haven't talked about with you guys is Uber Lube, which is actually a silicone lube with a really cool name. And they're nominated this year. And I brought this really cool little travel-sized case they have. It's all air, sealed, so the air does not get inside your bottle. It's a pump bottle.
Yeah.
So there's no bacteria that gets back into your lube. It lasts forever. And this just happens to be a really cool carrying case. So next time you travel, it won't leak into your bag, which if silicone lube leaks into
Yeah,
your
kidding.
stuff,
Oh, not
that's
good.
rough,
Yeah, it's
man.
bad. It's not
yeah.
good.
It's
Hold on.
excellent lube, but a wonderful, cool travel little metal carrying case and the actual.
I'll never
lube fits right in
forget
it.
we were on our way to Washington, D.C. in 7th grade, and Drew Waddell's suitcase had a bottle of Dracar in it that broke on the
Oh
bus.
gosh,
Oh, my God, we hated Drew Waddell.
I didn't
that's
know.
a headache, man.
Oh,
that
God,
is a
it was
headache.
so stinky.
You're not supposed to expose your lube to open air because
No.
I keep my lube in a big vat.
Yeah.
That's not good.
And then when
A
it
fooder,
when
like an
it-
old
Yeah,
beer
yeah.
fooder.
and then when it browns on top like an
Yes,
avocado, I just
yes.
cut the brown off.
Yeah.
And underneath
You can
is
still use that's still good lube.
like that's what I do.
That's all fresh
Just get,
lube under
get
there.
that layer off the
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
Skim
This-
it. Just skim it.
This is Uber
I
Lube.
give that to the dog.
By the way, try to buy this when there is not a pricing surge going on. That's a joke. That's an Uber joke. I'm sorry. It's stupid. Yeah, the price stays the same on this. And again, this is like a little over $10. I mean, these are really, really
Right.
awesome gifts that you can get, and the presentation's awesome, and you're not breaking the bank.
Yeah, we just don't want you to forget that we have all these really awesome wellness items, and that is affordable.
Do they
Yeah.
make
Really do.
pressurized lube like kind of like what would be in a a silly string can? You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
so when
It's not a bad idea for fun play.
so you could hit it from like
this guy's
10
been-
feet away.
I
Deborah,
think you
you
might
know-
want to patent that idea.
Deborah, you know I have a theory that this whole thing that he's been playing for years about, I don't like this, I don't like
It's just
talking about
crap, isn't it?
wellness.
He's
I
a
don't.
freak. You're saying he's a freak.
Well, because he comes up with these ideas, I think about. I'm like, the whole idea
Freak in the
of
sheets,
well,
businessman on the
I've
street.
seen people have colorful
don't you ever
phones,
say that.
and
Absolutely.
there are gold dust that you can dust on people, or
Absolutely.
candles that are edible, and so like a silly string play phone that you can put on your wife's boobs doesn't. It's not that far fetched, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean we have foam toy cleaner, but why not make some kind of a
Yeah.
creamy lube that kind of shoots out?
Yeah,
That'd be
But
go
like-
on. Hey now,
You know, like a wasp spray can.
yes,
You go-
black like
yeah. It has a trigger.
Dog the
It's a
Bounty
new game.
Hunter Bear Mace Lube.
yeah. You could hit an ice pipe from 20 feet away.
Yeah, and it says skin on skin Hawaiian justice. That's what he calls fisticuffs.
I bet you could get dog to at least we could pay him to have his face on the. You know what I'm saying? That's cheaper. Like
I
him.
can't use this because I have to squeeze the base so hard.
Oh, come on. All right. Sorry.
Okay,
Deborah.
another wellness item you probably don't think about for Fairvilla is CBD Daily. And this is actually by Earthly Body, which we carry their massage oils, which are fantastic. They're
Okay.
hemp-based products. And the CBD Daily is phenomenal
You brought
for
in their-
aches and pains.
Yeah, I have a lot of those. You've
So
brought
check
in their
that out.
oils before, right?
I have brought in their massage
stuff.
oils. And, CBD creams can get rather pricey, but I feel like what you get for the value in that product
Holy,
is great.
smell this, dude. Smell that.
I'm a big fan of a CBD. I don't know if you knew that,
Me
Deborah.
too. In the morning, just a little, and
Yep.
CBD.
the coffee. Try to get a healthy breakfast.
Yeah.
Take your vitamin.
There's nothing wrong with that. We got to
Big
take
glass
care of
of
ourselves
water. Yeah.
internally and externally,
Absolutely.
right?
Well, I think a lot of people forget. And I think that without saying too much or making anybody feel weird, I know that my wife and I have dedicated ourselves to all aspects of trying to make ourselves healthier. And that does include sex.
Absolutely.
You may not think that. A lot of times you leave out sleep and sex, right? You think about food and you think about water, but you don't necessarily think about rest. And you certainly don't think about your whatever you need, your needs sexually. So
Absolutely.
I think it's something else to think about.
I mean, there's so much value and just from the endorphins themselves that are released. But hey, go burn some calories.
Yeah,
I
super
say.
healthy.
And then I just had to bring you guys, which I don't know if we can really show them on air, but some of the soaps from Ramrod Novelties, because they are so cool. Wet Willies were one of our nominees this year.
It
and
looks
it's
like-
a new company for us, and it's
Yeah.
made in the Keys, Florida Keys.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is like it's like almost like artesian Key West. I guess that encompasses the whole area, right? Key
Yeah.
West weenie soap.
Yeah.
There you
It's
go.
Key West Soap D's.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Key West soap teas. Perfect.
Yeah. It's that we have fun gifts, and that's like the socks, and that's the category that they were in. And you should not take yourself too seriously.
They make the other thing too if you need that.
I like. I hope
Yep.
Mr. Ramrod proclaimed and he was.
It's sir. He was knighted.
Sorry,
He was
sorry.
knighted last year. How
Sorry,
could you forget?
Sorry, I
that
apologize,
it's
Sir Ramrod.
William Ramrod.
Yeah, I hope that he was in a small town in.
You ain't never gonna be nothing, Ramrod. You're just a good for nothing old farmer, Ramrod. You ain't good for nothing.
And then I hope
you
he's
take your soaps and you get the hell out of this town.
You'll see. One day I'm gonna move to Key West and make soap D's, and you'll all be you learn your lesson.
You'll see. I'll pull up in this town in a Lamborghini with a big old license plate that says Soap D money on it.
And then now he's in Key West making soap
Yeah.
D's and just killing it.
Actually, they have an Etsy shop and place.
They do,
and
and
I went.
it is actually a female-owned
They're awesome.
company.
They're so
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Yep.
I checked out all their stuff, and it is female owned, and you can check them out and
Yeah.
support them because they are. I mean, that's as homegrown as you can get as a product
small
in
business.
Fairvilla. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. We like to support that when we can.
we should interview her because it's,
Let's do it.
it's
I can
fascinating.
Can we do that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
She knows we like that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah,
Talk
well,
openly
I
about
think she has maybe a sense of humor. It'd be funny if she didn't know. It'd be
so
It'd
serious.
be funny if you make one joke about my products. I'd be like, oh my god, total straight
You know what,
interview.
now
Like,
I feel- now I
what
wish-
kind of soap do you use? Thank you.
Now I kind of wish we did this off air and then said, "Can you try and play this straight and then get mad at us? Pretend like you get mad at us for making soap D jokes and
That'd
take
be
it
great.
so seriously." But you know what? To answer people's questions, if you obviously can't see them, they are very realistic.
Yeah.
These kind of businesses, like you see these on Shark Tank and like things like this, where someone they do the presentation and you see their product and you're like, oh, how'd you start? And they all have the same story. They're like, well, I started making these as a hobby, and then some of my friends and family wanted some, so I started just giving them to them, and then they started like, hey, we want to buy some more for this, and then I started selling them out of my apartment, and then they literally cut you like, oh, what was your sales last year? Like $875,000. You're like, oh my god, that's a big jump from selling a couple to your Meemaw, and then 875,000. But it's always the same thing. Like it blows up.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
they're strictly soap, right? Is
Yeah,
that
those are soaps, and
that's all they do, right?
That's it.
That's crazy.
That's it. Yeah.
Very, very cool.
And they do have some non-phallic shapes too.
Sure, yeah.
But this is the claim to fame.
Because
right
the
here.
soap is good too. That's the thing. Is that like
Right.
the mold is hilarious, but it's actually nice soap.
And don't worry, I'm leaving these here for you to put in your bathroom.
Oh,
so
that's
you got
fantastic.
Something.
You know, people don't utilize the D enough because
It's a good cleaning utensil.
marketing wise, I would say probably the most well-known worldwide symbol,
It is.
right? Like if you were just gonna
Yeah.
do a easy
I can
symbol,
see one more than a stop sign.
I feel like everybody in every culture would be like, oh, I know what that is, yeah. And
But what do we make it mean? Because it can mean a lot of things.
And
Yeah.
I remember one time that we did golden D mugs at a bar promotion, and people looked at us and professionals, grown ups.
It was the bar manager.
Who's gonna want this? This is absurd. Like no one's gonna want a mug with a golden D
People
on it.
lined up for 2
Oh,
hours.
yeah.
Because
Oh,
they
yeah.
literally they're like
Yeah.
what they're like this is the most absurd thing. I'm
Yeah.
like I think they would have want.
I should get you one for the store. 'cause
I
it's-
think we should have one.
it's
I never got one of those.
I have to find my Andrea stashed them because they're so rare.
Yeah.
1 hour, like people waited in line
to
like
frame
Lady
it.
Gaga
Yeah.
tickets.
Yeah.
There was an hour
It was
before there was a line of 100
Yeah.
people. We only had like 75
Man,
of them.
I don't hope I didn't give mine away, but yeah, you're right.
People
Oh my
love the
gosh.
D.
They do.
They do love
For-
the D.
yeah,
Thank
why
goodness,
not?
because
Yeah.
I was in the store and we had such a great weekend. There a lot of D's were off the shelf.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's
This
not
place
utilized
looks like
enough.
it's been hit before a hurricane.
Thank you,
right.
pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. What
so,
else we got?
So, some of the other things I wanted to kind of shift gears, although a lot of the items I just showed you would go really well with an adult Easter basket because that's coming up too. And so I brought some things, it's all about the bunnies and eggs at Fairvilla. And I've shown some of the stuff before, like our Tanga eggs, which everybody loves.
Everybody
you guys remember
loves the
those?
Tang eggs.
It's a little
Butler's still
basically
working on his first one.
sleeving an egg for the D,
Yeah.
as we like to say.
See this one?
Yep.
I can hold this one up. This
Yep,
one's
you
pretty
can,
cool.
You can certainly open it up if you'd like.
Oh, okay. I'll do it then. This one, Easy Beat. This is the Easy Beat Stepper.
Adult Easter basket
might have
sounds
to
like a
rip
medical problem. It's like, what is
If
it?
you're suffering from adult Easter basket,
have-
you may have a case for a class action lawsuit.
What has he got going on back there, Doc? He's got an adult Easter basket.
If you had an adult Easter basket and uterine mesh, you can be compensated. Sorry, I don't even know what uterine mesh is, but every time I hear it, I yell.
Can we open the egg?
Yeah, I said
oh,
you
Oh,
can
no,
open the
Tom, I was just
egg.
going to masturbate in front of our guest. I'm leaving.
I'm sorry.
Oh gosh.
Um,
They do
Excuse
come
me
with
for a second. I'm very stressed out today.
Look away.
I
Look
got
away.
this bingo coming up. Like,
God damn it.
do you know how to do bingo? Because if not, I'm going to town.
gonna ruin our company.
Enough with the bingo.
Wait, hold on a second.
And it has a little lube inside
Yeah, it's
Oh,
got
yeah.
okay, this is the guy.
that just holds the
And then you pull
egg
this-
shape.
You
Yep,
pull
there
that
you go.
out. It
Oh,
almost
yeah.
looks like
there you go.
almost looks like an OB tampon.
That's so true.
The old school OBs. I used to see them. They fall on the ground. I'd be like, that's not big enough.
Come on.
Yeah, you got a little lube.
Oh yeah.
And then
yeah.
you got the
egg. Yeah.
yeah, and then you
the
got like
egg.
a little.
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
That's-
basically it.
That's
Yeah.
how we do it.
It's high tech.
Yeah,
But
I got one in my wallet.
I noticed that thing was looking big. A big ballooning wallet.
Gnats flying
been
around.
carrying it around a while
God.
or what?
Your wallet's crawling across the ground.
Yeah, so that would be perfect to throw in the old Easter basket.
Yeah.
But just make sure it's in yours.
Oh.
I want to have you explain this to my daughter.
No,
The
although
tub toy. Give me the lube.
if a kid found that, they would know what it.
fine.
Yeah, they're like, what is that?
Look at the water weenie.
If anybody, like, if my pop-up found that, he wouldn't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey,
not
you know, that's
advanced.
actually a decent question. Deborah, do you ever... Man, I'm going to hit you with something serious, actually, for once. Do you ever have any of your maybe a little bit older clientele that still want to, because I do worry about that. I think about it. Andrea and I've made jokes before about like, what are we going to be doing when we're like in our 60s and 70s? Well, hopefully we'll be doing this, right?
Right.
I think that's
People
what,
are doing it longer.
right, and
Thank
that's what you want to do.
medicine.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what you want to do. But like, do you ever have any of them that maybe they'll
Hold on,
you have to-
medicine helps your wife not be a bitch.
This guy's killing me today.
I'm
Oh
sorry,
my God.
I
I'm
gotta-
gonna have to do a show with your wife.
Oh, yeah, we
I'll
do
do it.
another one.
No,
they
because
love
then you'll
it.
see. We're like,
Yeah,
oh my
Andrea
God, the
loves it.
guys are the horrible.
Do they ever have to get extra instruction? Or, because I know you guys would be more than willing.
It's usually more about materials and things like that. They might not be as familiar with the migration to silicone materials.
Right.
And, I can remember being in this store, it's been a few years now, where I've had gentlemen come in and shop for their wives, older gentlemen.
Sure.
Or older partners. And they think that they want something very specific, very old school. And we're like, let us show you the possibilities here. I can guarantee you we can show you something that you're going to like better.
Right.
So, there are those situations, but I'm finding that people are a little more adventurous now. And people are more connected through social media and things like that. They already are pre-shopping.
Right.
So
Sure.
they get an idea, or they hear about something, or they come in and they seem to be a little more open.
Okay.
And man, I'm sure, like, if they talk about how little products there were, like, even probably 20, 30 years ago or something. You know what I'm saying? Like the amount and the availability. It's like, back in the day, you'd have to go to the one store and there was before the internet, and it was whatever they had, and they probably, the internet made it so advantageous for businesses and easy for them to sell. It advanced the products, and now everything is rechargeable and made out of the best possible material and the best possible size and shape, and it's research and development.
Technology,
the technology
is nuts.
And what is that?
This new Sensuel, by the way, was also nominated for their entire line of product for their packaging.
It's phenomenal
because it's all super clear, easy to understand. It's kind of Apple-esque, and it's white and really graphically pleasing.
It's got the magnetic closures.
Yes,
that's fancy.
Easy for us to open it up, show it to you.
I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. Now, I know a lot of consumers are not, but if you're listening, people that produce things, I'm a sucker for the magnetic closures, the nice little piece of paper over the screen, the little tag. I like it. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff.
It's so much easier to open than a regular box, which, by the way, I've already opened one here and ripped the box. They don't like for me to come into the store because I ripped
Butler, get
boxes.
the tape.
So what I've got here is called the Petite Egg. So we have the egg for the guy, and now we have the egg for, actually anybody. Anybody can enjoy
that's true.
this egg.
I mean, if I wanted to...
It's a remote control egg, and the remote actually vibrates too, so you kind of know what the egg is doing.
So you actually feel...
you kind of feel what's
so
happening.
Now we're truly connected.
Petite Egg by New Sensuel.
Now we
remote.
are truly connected.
Change it.
Now we are
Give him the goods, Tom.
You're going to stop it.
Hold on.
That's like real life. He turned me off.
There it is. Hold on. 3 button. Oh, no.
There are 3 buttons.
Whoa, hold on.
New Sensuel is known for their power.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm blacking out. Oh, I see the ghost and Mr. Chicken. This thing is powerful.
Super powerful. Yep, they're known for power, for sure.
Oh, my cell phone's ringing. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's Ron Jeremy. Ooh, gross. He's a terrible.
So that's pretty interesting that the remote actually shows you the speed and the veracity of it.
Wow.
It's under $100 and
Who read his
rechargeable.
word of the day today.
This guy's, I'm telling you, he's been gaslighting us. Are you trying to
I cannot
turn it
Oh,
off?
there it is.
That's all right.
Oh, no, back on. Hold on.
We're open,
Usually
baby.
you hold the buttons down for a few seconds and they will turn off. Did it work?
No, I just screwed it up. I'm sorry.
You can just
I
hang on
broke
to
it.
that.
I put it somewhere and I can't get it out. Oh, it's dancing. It's dancing.
man.
And, if all else fails, usually there's an off button on each device.
There needs to be like a jet ski bracelet.
So you fall off.
Yeah, you
you
fall
fall
off. And it just starts circling the bed.
There's your other idea. Patent that idea.
Baby, your dilder's.
I appreciate that stand-up jet ski joke. You know what? You got the good.
Well, I try to charm you.
Awesome.
Not piss you off today.
Evolved. Evolved also a nominee, but for a slightly different toy. This is one of their newest. It's called Bunny Kisses. It's really petite. It's silicone wrapped toy, rechargeable, waterproof. I think they have it's 10 functions. I don't know
10
if you need all
functions?
10, but all their products come with a 5-year warranty.
My God.
Yeah.
I don't think my
super
car
sweet.
has a 5-year warranty.
And of course, now it probably won't turn on because I did. Oh, there it goes. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yay. So,
This one's cool.
it looks like a little bunny on the outside, little bunny ears
it
for
lights up.
external stimulation.
This thing's got lights, too.
Yeah. Super cool. It's
You listen.
very neutral looking. Really fun item.
Yeah, this one's great.
I want to be the worst adult toy manufacturer ever, and then do my presentation. Be like, this is rechargeable. It's got the 2 pleasure points, one in the front, one in the back.
Yeah.
It vibrates at the perfect consistency. It pulsates. It continual vibrates. It is not waterproof. Now, do not get it anywhere near water. It'll severely burn you. Why did you make it like that? It'll rust. It'll burn. It'll explode.
Nice.
These do people I'm wondering what's more popular. Is it because I see a lot of designs that have the top and the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom's the canoe.
Yeah.
And the top is
it's like a pointer.
Yeah,
we all know what it's for.
Yeah.
But do a
The
lot of customers?
The canoe goes in the canoe storage,
uh,
and then the what did you call it?
Yeah.
The rider.
Yeah, it tickles your hat.
Yeah, and the rider tickles the hat. Yeah. Perfectly.
Oh
said.
my gosh, I'm
So
gonna use
they-
that.
Perfect. The canoe and the hat. Have you'd never. Your mom and dad didn't tell you about the canoe and the hat.
So do a lot of people want the hat tickler or no? Is
Yeah.
that
'Cause
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of people do because a lot of people need that stimulation to reach the end.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, like if I'm talking about my wife, which we share on this show, she's not a canoe only lady. She likes me wearing a hat.
Oh, okay. Don't tell me that.
Don't talk about your
Don't talk about her hat.
Yeah. This
You can leave your hat on.
does
Joe Cocker.
Does a company have the rights or this company to call it Rabbit? Like, is that a copyrighted
Volkswagen owns that.
thing? Because
You see a few companies that'll use Rabbit, but
Okay.
it kind of it's overused. So they have to come up with a new name for all these new products. So you'll see some takeoffs on that. But there's some great rabbits out there that are actually called
Bunnies,
rabbits. but
rabbits.
Bunnies, rabbits, and speaking of bunnies, I brought you a bunny tail.
What? Oh, I know what that
And the
is.
tail actually does come off.
Oh, cool.
Looks like Tuttle's microphone.
And it's for the back end. And
It does look like Tuttle's microphone.
it's super cool. It's
Oh,
made
whoa.
made by Love Honey. And Love Honey also
Hey
makes
there, ladies. We'll be back to pick you up later.
Love Honey also makes the 50 Shades of Grey toys. So real
These are
quality.
cool.
They're-
Magnetic?
It's a European, it's an English, actually British company.
Hello, no sex, please. We're British.
Now these are more. Oh, it's vibrating.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't know
sorry,
that.
yeah, see?
Yeah.
So
I surprised you.
these are more of a novelty, but also can be used regular as well. But
yeah.
it seems like someone would use this to stunt or to show off or to they're at a maybe a group party or something where they
They want something a little decorative.
yeah, and so it's interesting that this can be possible.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It seems
We brought a lot of toys in with something on the like a tail or whatever. But what's nice about this is the tail actually comes off. So,
Yeah, so if
easy
you're-
enough to clean the product and
Yeah, and then you don't have to get your tail wet. Like I've thought about that before because they're especially with these type of things that you're wearing that might have something that can get wet or sticky or you gotta be a little more careful with that.
Yep, it's not real fur, people. I promise
Yeah,
you
yeah,
that.
yeah,
This one is actually faux, and everything's waterproof. So
Could you
can-
stick
can clean up.
anything magnetic to the end of that?
I haven't tried.
Just saying. I mean, you could make
We
it
can
really
try it
handy.
Ah,
You know, like those things where you extend it, you get a screw that fell down to the bottom of your.
Oh,
you're working
yeah,
on
yeah,
your
yeah,
dots.
yeah.
I have
My dad had a bunch of those, yeah.
Yeah, you pull it telescopic. Hey, honey, come out here.
they're for this kind of thing and
Yeah.
to find your screws.
I lost. There's an idle screw that fell out of my Vespa.
It's down there. It's
Yeah.
in the oil pan. I
Sit
can't
on
reach
the
it.
oil pan.
And we have lots of other bunnies, lots of butterflies. And again, if you want to make a naughty basket for your partner, I mean, we have the candies, we have the oils. But
I love
the
this
eggs and
idea
stuff-
because I don't have kids, so I'm gonna have to tell my husband I want an
Oh.
adult
No.
Easter basket.
You guys say
Absolutely.
naughty basket.
Naughty basket.
Naughty basket.
Yeah, you
Dirty
really
pound.
do. It's so much fun. You can get really inventive, and in our store, we'll help you.
Yeah.
We got the people to help you.
There's so many products you have. I mean, do you even I guess there's probably some sort of computer system that will tell you the exact amount of products you have. But I mean, it's in
I
the
don't even know
thousands,
that.
right?
Yeah.
I think I asked her that one time, and the answer was, "I'm not doing
I
that."
think my
Yeah.
eyes probably glazed over.
I think we just asked the same question before because
It's got to be thousands and thousands.
yeah.
yeah.
and it changes all the time.
Yeah, and it's changing as we're going into the spring and summer. All new lingerie coming in, and more toys are going to be switched out in the next few weeks. It's been challenging because honestly, you probably have heard that, and when you go shopping at any place right now, the ports are backed up as far as
Right.
products coming from overseas, and and a lot of it comes in through LA.
Yeah.
So be patient when
Takes
you're
longer,
shopping
yeah.
because sometimes it takes us a little bit longer to get products in than we normally would. But we're doing a great job. We have a lot of products in the stores to sell, and thousands for sure.
Interesting.
I
Is
wanna
that a
give you-
Bluetooth speaker?
It looks like it.
It looks like the case for my Bluetooth speaker.
I had to bring this in. I just got this sample this week. It's actually not going to be available till May, so you're getting a very early sneak peek. I just talked with the guy who's distributing this in the United States.
Hello.
And it's called the Snail. I kid you not.
Oh, Tom.
What
Tom's
is
eyes.
going on with the snail?
That's
So-
a new design.
Yeah, that is. Wowie.
So your canoe, right?
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
Going
There's
into the
my-
canoe.
Whoa!
There's the canoe.
And it's got 2 motors on it. One is up here at the
Oh, yeah.
at your hat.
At the
Oh,
hat.
yeah,
All right.
that'll knock your
And-
hat right off.
So you got one here. For the people who like powerful wands, I was really shocked. This is an extremely powerful device. I have it
What's
on
a
the
snail?
I have it on the first speed. I'm going to hand it to you.
Yeah.
And then just play with the positive buttons, and it will take it up.
I mean, snails are slow, but
And super
powerful,
quiet.
right?
What's the other ball at the other end of the snail?
Don't
for?
ask about that.
The one ball is your control mechanism is there. So it's really great if you actually need something to grip onto. If you have problems maybe with your hands and holding on to toys. So
Oh, they
Or someone could assist your canoe.
that is
Okay,
exactly right. You can use it externally.
They
too.
vibrate in what do you call that?
Sync.
Independently,
Yeah, yeah.
or
Or sync,
in
yeah.
sync. Yeah, this
Yep.
is nuts.
Yeah, they can work independent.
This is the perfect gift for some sort of musician or music director or whatever, because I feel like you could.
It's a trouble
It looks like a music note. Yeah.
well, you could
Yeah.
like have this out on your counter.
I
and it'd
love
be like,
music.
Yeah.
That's just me with a bass clef because I'm such a cool bass player.
But wait,
But it does look like a snail. They do.
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
the name was going to be really off-putting, but after I put it in my hands, I'm like,
Well,
okay,
it's
that's
not
great.
Snail. The name snail is not off-putting. The name trail is not off-putting. When you combine them, they're kind of off-putting. I feel like, and that was the '80s or the '70s. I feel like that did that.
what's fascinating is
You
how
can't turn
they,
any of these devices off. That's fascinating to me. Impossible to turn off.
how they found. Oh man,
Going crazy.
She told you
It
it's
is going
powerful.
crazy.
You're about to blow your fingers off.
it's like how they came up with this.
How's that feel on your carpal tunnel?
Apparently,
Put your wrists on.
apparently there was a lot of science actually behind it.
That's what I'm talking about with
Get the
research
women in
and
here.
Yeah.
Get the snails in here.
with the research and development. Like no company would have the money to put into figuring this out. And before this, right? You know, it's like
Now they do.
And now they're like, oh, we can come up with a new design that works better for. I'm sure everybody's different. Like
I mean, there is the Dyson of dildos, right? There's that guy that's
there
gonna
you
like.
go. Oh, yeah,
We
for
can
the
do this
advanced.
better.
Yes.
There's got to be a better way that we can change the average dildo.
Yep, that was it. I
Like
think in a
that.
nutshell, right?
Yeah, I think he'd
yeah.
say something like that and then make this new cool product.
And honestly, I feel like the price is comparable to other premium brands. It's going to be about $150, and completely rechargeable, warranted.
You look just
It's-
absolutely
and it is
perplexed.
incredibly powerful. But May won't be here till then.
What's interesting is like because with this silicone material, you'd have to figure out the perfect mold with the perfect amount of resistance.
Yeah.
You know, so
and
like
and
the
it's all
science
smooth.
is,
There's no hard edges on that whatsoever, so I don't even know how they
No.
did that.
but it's like the resistance actually has to be dialed in perfect.
Yeah,
you know,
there's a
so-
spring, it's almost like spring loaded in some way.
Well, and that's to give that constant pressure
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
outside of the body, and it's pretty magnificent because it gives just the right amount of pressure. You're never going to lose contact.
right.
That's where it comes with there's
Yeah.
research.
You're always
and
got your
sci-
hand on your hat.
Some inventor like went through hundreds of these, figuring out what the right tension
What's
is.
the biggest problem when you get on a roller coaster? Your hat blows off. I'm going to solve that problem. Imagine sitting on the roller coaster but having two hands on the brim of your hat while you're flying through the tunnel. That's where the snail comes in. It's snail hat technology.
That's exactly.
I'm the Dyson of dildos. Well, Deborah, that's awesome. I mean,
that. What else? You have to end with the snail. I mean, that's it. But
he's pretty rad. I already made him I already gave him a
know.
name.
yeah, May,
Billy Snail.
It should be in. I just don't have a date yet. But just keep checking back with us.
Alrighty. And what was the company again?
Well, just know it as the snail
Okay,
right
there-
now.
okay. All right. Ooh, I asked a secret question.
Yeah, it like I said, just got
Yeah.
that. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to be redistributed. It's going to have a new outer
Oh,
shell
gotcha,
for
gotcha.
the box, so I will know soon.
Beautiful.
But
Cool.
I'm excited. I was so excited. I said, "Can I talk about it
Oh,
today?"
the chat room already sold. Yeah.
Okay.
All
All right.
Frog
Maybe
and
I better
Molly.
take some pre-orders.
Yeah, well, you could. I mean, you could call them up.
So let's talk about some stuff going on at Fairvilla.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, this week we're announcing all of our F Award winners, and we'll be, featuring them prominently in our stores. And we're going to do a little wrap-up show. Like I said, we hated not doing something live, so we're actually going to do a curtain call event on April 1st from about 8 till 9-ish. Probably will run a little after 9, I think. We're going to have giveaways with trivia contests. We're going to have some of the winners, winning companies online, so you can ask questions about your toys and what they do and whatever you want to ask. Our education team's going to be online.
Sweet.
I'll be online. And it's April 1st. It is an Eventbrite ticketed event. It's free. So just go to any of our social media pages to get that link or onto fairvilla.com.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, Deborah, it's awesome having you
Super
in.
fun. Love it.
Glad to be back.
Yeah, thank you for bringing all these awesome gifts and toys and things that we could buy and our listeners can buy. And,
Indeed.
And it's been great. And fairvilla.com if you want to go to their website.
Or you can always call. I know a lot of people like to
Absolutely.
just call, and you can you can explain to them how safe or what limitations you have, and
absolutely.
they'll work with you. They are very, very, very accommodating, and that's why we
Bring
love
your
them
mask.
so much.
Then
Yeah.
Yes.
If not, we have some,
Yep.
and we're there to help you. We'll show you anything you want to see.
Cool.
Absolutely.
And we'll be right back with more Corporate Time.
It is another A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here. Butler is here. What are we going to hit before we get into and then I was going to say the bad word.
Uh-oh.
Well, TomandDanLandCruise.com. It's at the Dr. Phillips Front Yard Festival. If you
Have you
haven't
seen
seen
this?
it, yeah.
Have you heard about the front yard
this
festival?
one?
Have you heard about this? Have you seen it?
If you want your own personal box, you can go on either TomandDanLandCruise.com or the Dr. Phillips website and go to tickets, and you pick your box. You could, buy up to 5 tickets per
Indeed.
box if you want to, and then you can hang out with your friends and family that you hang out with.
Socially distanced, responsible, concert going. Responsible. That's a new word I just invented.
And then, order food and drink to your box, and they deliver it to you while you're watching our land cruise.
Real quick. I am a fan of the QR code menu. Who knew that all of this time
Oh,
that
I
we
love
were
it.
throwing QR codes out there and they weren't working, right? Remember
Yeah,
when
yeah.
QR codes were like
Yeah.
a thing that was useless? People
I
would
was
have
like,
QR
who
codes.
needs this?
And then people would be like, I have a QR code, scan it and you'll get my business card. And I'm like, I'm too lazy for that. I don't need that. But when I go to a restaurant and they're like, I'm sorry, a virus is killing people. You need your phone and your QR code. I'm like,
they
I'll
don't
do it.
hand you a greasy menu. It's
No,
great. I
I
love
want a
it.
greasy menu.
When the pandemic happened, imagine how happy Mr. Code was.
Oh, yeah.
Yay, they like my code.
I'm QR Code.
I'm QR code, the rootin' is tootin' is cold, this side of the Texas.
I like how Scotty and Christina are like, oh, God, they told us they were
I told them. I told
now
them.
they're doing it.
As I screamed in a foghorn leghorn voice, I told them, hold on, let's check.
Yeah.
I told you guys this is what we were going to do. Are either of you surprised and or mad at me or Tom?
No, not surprised, and I keep laughing. I was afraid you guys could hear me.
Oh, I can hear you. QR hears all.
So on the line with us, Scotty and Christine. We're going to talk Orange County Library System.
Yeah.
Of course, they're a great sponsor of ours, and you can find out all the information on ocls.info. How you guys doing?
Great.
Doing
Thanks
really
for having
good.
us.
I got a really quick did I get in trouble library question. We just got back from Colorado. My daughter is obsessed with I'm in your system now, man. I'm getting all the books. We went through all of the Babysitters Club graphic novels. Those are done. The same author or illustrator rather does another book called Roller Girl, which is about young girls Maisie's age playing roller derby. She's very into it. I took that book with me to Colorado. Was I breaking Orange County Library rules?
No, you can bring it anywhere you'd like. We ask that you bring it back.
I did.
By the due date. Okay, then you are absolutely fine. Yes,
Yes!
You're encouraged to take our stuff.
Okay, love it.
across state lines.
I would like to add that as these books get bigger, Tom, they're harder for me to read without my glasses.
I wish it was like, in ghetto supermarkets where they have the wheel lock on their shopping carts, so once you pass a certain perimeter of the parking lot,
blow blue dye all over my face.
like once you pass a certain perimeter of Orange County, and the book either blows up.
Or blows your head off like Universal Soldier.
Oh, we're going Running Man now. Or
Yeah.
Universal,
Yeah,
Where
like-
you can't get past. You
Yeah.
have the old neck. Yeah.
Next thing you know, you got some
it should
Arnold
just
Schwarzenegger.
burn up like magician paper as soon as you get past. And, like, you're not taking our book past Orange County.
My Babysitter's Club book burned a hole in my hoodie.
So, Christine, I want to talk to you about the adult summer reading program because I
Oh,
need
boy.
this.
Yes, you do.
So let's talk about it and how you could help Tom Van.
Oh, absolutely. So everyone thinks, with summer reading, it's just for kids, but it's not true. We have adult summer reading, and it's not just about reading. You can actually listen to books. So if you don't like reading, you can do audiobooks too. And then we have all these classes and events that you can take online. And if you register with us on our website, then you can win some prizes. So there's an incentive to be a part of the adult summer reading program.
Question from Tom Vian. How do I get me some of them earbooks?
You know what, Christine?
She does listen to our show. You should have just come in. If I didn't know that, you should just come in here.
Why, Christine?
We're open, baby.
Why don't they make? Because I like books.
No, you don't.
Hold on.
But earbooks.
Now
I
you're
like
just,
earbooks.
Now you're just blatantly
Yeah.
lying.
No,
He
no.
loves earbooks.
No. I like the contents of the book, but it's
It's
the
the
reading
reading you
is the
hate. Yeah.
but.
You like knowledge, not reading.
And then sometimes I'm like, I want to absorb the contents of this book, but they don't have an audio. And then I'm like, why don't they make? It's 2021. Why don't they make all books an audio version?
I'm with you.
And then someone told me that you could pay some company that does audiobooks for like the vision impaired, and then I was like, is that
Wait, you can
morally
Wait,
flawed?
you can get a one-off audiobook by just having somebody record it for you?
There-
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
there-
hire people to do that for sure.
There's companies that will do it for vision impaired,
Well,
but I think
now they have to work with a publisher because you can't record yourself reading somebody's published audio and then just give it to people. You can't do that.
But I think if for reasons,
mean,
medical
under the
reasons,
table.
that's where
I mean,
the whole
sure,
morality
yeah.
thing, you know.
I mean, you could do it illegally. It's going to be terrible too because if the person's not like a real voiceover person, it's going to be garbage.
well, they're not selling it. You're getting. It's kind of like a service that's provided. I think taxes pay for or something.
I guess the
like
question-
Hold on now. You're not getting my taxes.
All right, hold on.
Paying
What
for
was
your
that,
books.
Christine?
I said they're called talking books. He's actually right. That is a state-funded program. So yes.
Yeah, but it's for blind or deaf people, right? Like, it's
That's-
like,
Yes, it is.
yeah.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
so you want to use the blind?
I don't.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I don't. I'm just. I'm throwing it out there
Then why,
because
then
I
why are
wanna-
you tapping a cane all around the room?
I'm just saying, like that.
Earlier, he was making a clicking noise like a dolphin and trying to find stop signs in the road.
What about the people like me that can't read?
Learning
and that,
impaired.
that want, I know that probably everybody will like, well, that's why you should learn to read and not just, rely on audiobooks. But, can I just pay them $100? Like, that's all. Can I PayPal you and you just, do this on your off time?
You want Christine to just start reading your books now. You're taking
Yeah, I
advantage.
think we need to talk after. I'll have a Tom story time just for you that I can make.
Yeah, I like that. I like that she's a listener and she's slapping our cheeks back
I
a
know,
little bit.
I know.
I enjoy it.
But there are most books nowadays in audio version, or do some authors just refuse to do that?
I know
or
Kid
even
Rock's
offer
not
that?
on Spotify, so anything's possible.
No, I think the majority of books, especially like fiction books and stuff, we have an audio version, or there's some kind of audio version out there for it.
You know, I'm
But I'm
not
not a publisher, so I'm not sure.
I have one right now. I was gonna bust myself out. Tali Kwalib from Black Star and activist, rapper, writer. I'm listening to his book right now. It's awesome. Really, really good.
Nice. I love biographies. I mean, I feel like they're telling me their life story. That's my favorite audiobook to listen to.
It is a little
when the
weird.
author actually reads
I
it.
got to tell you, I started this Tali Kwalib book on the plane, and it started to it's weird when you hear the person that lived it read it. There is there's extra power there or something. There's energy. It's very, very cool.
Christine, have you found that like now books are obviously offered on Kindles and digital format and stuff, where like people just do read on their pads and stuff. Now, have people graduate like? I feel like it's hard for people to go from reading an actual book to reading on some It
was for my wife.
Yeah. On some sort of tablet. And
completely different animal to me.
And once they make the transition, is that all it takes? Is like a switch they have to flip, and then they're like, "Oh, fine with it," or is there always something to be said about reading from a physical book?
I think it goes both ways. There's always going to be the traditional people that want to keep on that book, but we have classes to help people get to the digital format. And when coronavirus happened, our digital library had so many checkouts. So I think people had to adapt in this new kind of place we're in.
Yeah.
So I think once you're there, it's good. But there's something about holding a book and just I still like the reading the book. So and I think children like that too.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, Scotty agrees. I think most people, I think it's like this. If you were an avid book reader before the virus, I feel like you still love the feeling of books. If you started maybe, like my daughter, I don't know if she likes book or her iPad better, but I know I like the feel of paper for some reason. And I think I figured it out. I think it's because I use my iPad so much for work that when I touch my iPad, I feel like it's not going to be pleasurable. It's going to be something. Well, not that work is hard, but you know what I mean.
I also feel like with a physical book, you can see how many pages you've read by like where your bookmark is or whatever.
Right.
And then when you have it on a digital tablet, you're like,
that's
what I mean?
psychology right
there.
Yeah,
that's an interesting
like
point.
You've completed a full chapter and you can see that you completed it.
You're right.
Nice,
You're
Sam.
Right.
We should let the girls talk more on this show. They're smart.
On a tablet, there's not the satisfaction of seeing how much you've done. And I think
I think that's good. It's like mowing the grass, right? You like to see that fresh line behind you.
And it probably motivates you to read more because you're like, I've already done 3/4 of the book based on where
I'm
my
almost
book.
done. I might as well keep going.
And with the tablet, there's nothing to show that.
We touched on adult summer reading. Let's touch on the not the adult book festival. That would be fun. The Orlando Book Festival happening Saturday, April 3rd. There's the Orlando Book Festival. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, it's actually our 7th year hosting it, so we're really excited. We're going all virtual this year, so you can enjoy it from the comfort of your home. Nice. Our opening keynote is Angie Thomas, and her debut novel was The Hate You Give, which was made into a movie, so that's our opening keynote.
Sweet.
And that's at 10 a.m., and then Alyssa Cole is our closing keynote, and she's a New York Times best-selling author of romance and thrillers. And then in between, we have panelists and lectures throughout the day with different authors from all over the country. So normally we're limited to Florida for the Orlando Book Festival, but we've really reached out, and it's going to be a really exciting event. It's all day, 10 to 4.
My wife did one of these where she actually did the virtual sit-in where it's a particular author she really likes, and you just go on the Zoom deal, and you get to sit there and listen to the person who created the book and ask questions and participate and interact.
How many different Lamborghini posters do you have, or are you going to have at this book festival? Because I love me a good Lamborghini poster.
There's a difference between a fair. Is this a festival or a fair?
A Scholastic Book Fair.
Are you
festival?
You were thinking Scholastic Book Fair. So you wanted a pencil with a spider eraser on the top. I'm sorry. He wanted a pencil with a poop emoji eraser on the top of it and a Cat in the Hat novelty hat.
I only go to book festivals for Lamborghini posters. The yellow one.
It says the nerds of today drive the Lamborghinis of tomorrow. Stay in school.
So how many there has to be the printing of books, like talking about the theme of like digital to like an audio and whatever.
Yeah.
That has to be, they have to print less, right? I mean, just for the fact that we live in 2021 is like, because there's different versions of it. Like, Do you know that? If like the amount of books that someone
Yeah.
comes out with.
Have your physical copies.
Christine, I know you're not the end-all, know-all
I'm
books.
the event manager.
Okay, Christine.
Christine, how do they make books? Tell me. Start from chopping the tree.
Okay, Christine and Scotty,
my
this is
God.
now a competition. You're on the game show. It's called Who Made Books. Who made the first books? Ring in with your name.
Who made the first books? How long does it take? What?
Okay,
From
here's
tree to book, how long?
Tom and Dan
Down to the minute.
Tom and Dan, T&D Media, 2 questions. First question, how many books are there ever? Second question, will people read them to me?
You know what? I blame Scotty on this.
How dare you?
Because we said we were stupid. We said right at
And
the
he
beginning.
never believes us. We tell Scotty every
I think
time.
Scotty could answer that, though. I think Scotty has all the answers to
He's
those
smart.
questions.
Finally,
so-
Scotty does something for us.
So, Scotty, who makes books?
I think it's God.
Yes, yes,
God. He makes magnets too. ICP
No,
told me.
he makes magnuts.
Scotty, I want to learn how to drive a semi truck.
Oh my God.
Can I? Do you still have all the virtual? I mean, that obviously COVID has restricted a lot
Oh,
of
you
things.
mean like the simulators and the things that they had in
Yeah,
the...
yeah. You probably we got to hold off on that for a while, right?
That's a great question.
Yeah,
we do have
the
to.
Melrose
on
Center is
the
actually
simulators,
opening back up, I believe, April 1st, but in limited capacity. So I'll have to look at the website to be sure. So we're slowly coming back in a safe way, but I don't think the simulators are open yet.
Gotcha, but it's a
there'll be a little
start.
bit of time.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a start of like a slow open, and then there will be a day where those simulators are. I'm obsessed with how accurate they are because I'm like, can I literally learn on a simulator how to fly a plane? I think you can.
The unfortunate aspect is they do have a vaccination simulator that you just can't use, which is ironic.
You're gonna simulate a vaccine. You're like, I'm good.
I'm sorry. I'm pretending I'm at a bar with Scotty and we're just chatting like old friends.
So, Christine,
But just to be clear, we do not have that.
No, absolutely not.
Christine,
Absolutely not.
how many books have you read?
No,
Oh my God.
don't do it.
Over a dozen?
Yeah, definitely over a dozen.
Whoa!
I could say that with confidence.
That's a lot of
Did you
books.
never have to do a book report in your life?
I honestly feel like I just looked into the eyes of a man who said, "You know, Dog the Bounty Hunter." Like, that's the equivalent. The one you asked her is the equivalent.
But all the words, I've read like a little bit here, a little bit there, and then I'm like,
Okay.
I count this as a full one.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot, Tom, in front of our friends.
No.
What's the last? Really try for me. What's the last book you read?
I read a sports gambling book, but it was just a little at the front, and then I was like, I know what they mean. That's how all of it works. Like I
So
read
you
the.
read chapter 1 and half of 2. You filled in the middle, and then you finished the book.
I didn't even know. I didn't even get that far. I read like 1/4 in, and I was like, I get the gist. And then I was like, I
Yeah.
can figure out the rest.
Do you guys know what's the most popular, like right now? Are there library trends that you guys see? You know, obviously with events and stuff, you're always trying to cater things that would be, current or relevant at the time. But do you guys see trends like when you see something like go crazy on TikTok? Let's say crockpot meals. Let's say it goes crazy on TikTok. Can you actually view the number of like books or what's being pulled out of our library, and would that show a trend?
Huh.
Yeah, we have I forget their department, but yes, we do have a department that.
Oh,
looks
they'll
at
love to
and
hear
sees-
that.
Yeah,
Logistics
acquisitions. It's
department?
acquisitions. I'm
There you go.
sorry.
There you go. Nailed it.
But yeah, and we'll work together with them too to see like what's being checked out, what's going on. My staff is always looking out there for the latest trends. Like we just did a virtual event on Instapot meals. Everything
Yeah.
out there. There's so much. It's hard. We do over 800 events and classes per month.
Can you believe
it's a
that?
lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. There's always something going on, and it is cool that you could go to another department, see what's going in and out, kind of see your own, for lack of a better term, traffic, and then use that to drive your own events, which is why we get some of these really cool events. The last one on my list here is National Endowment of the Arts Big Read Lab Girl. What's that?
Yes, so we were awarded a grant from the National Endowment of the Arts to celebrate the book Lab Girl by Hope Jaron. The events are all going to take place from March 28th to April 24th, and they're all going to be a STEM focus or STEAM focus.
Yeah.
And it's for all ages, so that's for kids all the way up to adults.
That's Maisie's favorite class is STEM Lab.
Yeah.
What was that?
Science, technology, something, something, and something.
Science, technology, engineering, arts, and math.
Yeah, do you see I left out the ones I don't know? Science, technology, and the stuff.
So
My daughter knows. I don't know.
and like what when you experience one of these things, like what are we talking here? Because you have to dumb it down for old Tom Van here. Like,
Okay.
just explain to me.
Okay, so
What
let's
is
say
it?
if Tom wanted to go to this Lab Girl big read, he would do what?
He would just need to go to our website and register, and they're going to be all virtual events. So we have lectures on some of them. Some of them are like a how-to. You follow along in Zoom for kids.
Yeah.
We have a gentleman coming in teaching about different fungi and mushrooms to learn about.
Don't you
wheat
dare.
farming's coming out. They're doing events with us. It's just, we have a whole bunch of things going on.
Don't you dare. He's going to say, I bet he sounds like a fun guy. Don't you dare.
He is a fun guy.
Don't you dare.
There's this. Have you ever heard of this fungus that it's in Florida and it turns your
Yeah,
skin
it's our
white?
show.
No. Well, my buddy Fernando had it in high school, and we called him fungi. We used to bully him, but he had this like
It turns your skin white?
It's like these white blotches, and it was like
That's
this
the Sosa fungus.
it's like this Florida skin fungus that floats around, and it when it gets on you, it has like these big blotches.
Do you have any Florida skin fungus books? And
Well,
then
that's all you gotta-
We probably have a book on it, yes.
but I need it to be. I need a guy to read me the fungus book.
Just to be clear, this class is not about that.
Yeah, Scotty is always the voice of reason.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
shake him, man. He stays right on it. He's like, and let me preface this by saying we are not affiliated with these guys in any way. They're so dumb.
And again, all of this information can be found on ocls.info.
We have fun with you guys because the library is fun. You know,
Yeah.
like seriously, like you guys are good sports, and
It's just so
I could not be more proud to actually get to talk about something in my community that I use and love. So
And there's so much free information, free education out there. I mean, all this stuff that people pay thousands of dollars for.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even if you go online, now the whole new thing is like, these peer-to-peer virtual education classes. What are they
Sure.
called?
oh, I know what you're talking. Like master classes,
Stuff like that.
Like
All-
where you have Gordon Ramsay do.
they all cost tons of money, and the Orange County Library System has all this stuff,
Yeah.
virtual classes, stuff like.
I'd rather support my community, maybe do a local like cooking or meet a local cookbook author. That'd be cool.
What's the easiest way to get an Orange County Library card?
You can come into our location. Well, the easiest way is online. You can go to our website. You can fill out all the information online, and they'll mail the card to you. Otherwise, you can come into one of our locations, have your ID, proof of Orange County residency, and you can sign up for a library card for free.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you go to ocls.info/getyourcard, I have another hot tip for you. If April 4th through the 11th is National Library Week, if you sign up for your library card during that week, you'll also get a ticket to Wonderworks.
Oh, cool.
All right. Yeah, and that's another thing too is, and I know we've talked about this before, but you guys are always kind of, I don't know how to say this, but swirling in different deals and partners and people that you work with. There's always some sort of a way for you, if you are a library card member, to benefit.
Well, Scotty, Christine, thanks so much for calling in today and telling us about everything.
And thanks for being good sports because we are really, when it gets to be this part of the day, we get a little goofy. But we appreciate it. We love you guys. And good luck with the events. And we hope to see you guys really soon.
Okay, thank
We
you so
appreciate your
much.
support.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep,
Yeah,
see you
no
guys.
problem.
That was the one. That's
That's
the one.
That's the one. They're like, wow, we should rethink it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm over it. I'm done with it.
They can't even read.
I said this last time, and I put my foot down this time.
Yeah.
That's my Scotty impression.
Like, oh God, why did Jim Phillips leave?
Buy your books with cash.
Books with cash. You dessert first.
Yeah. I'll always worry. I'm like, I wonder at the end, like when we get off, we just go on and we're like, oh man, that was like they must think we're stupid.
No, I have a way to do it.
And
When-
like, what do they think?
Oh no! Have you ever noticed that every time we stop the mics, I look around, I go, "That was good." No matter what, no matter what happens.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way
It's
you
a
do
positive
it.
attitude.
Positive attitude.
You just say it's good.
Big pause. Oh damn it! That's Mark Marrows.
Then you email, you're like, that went great. And then you're like, wait, the client's like, really? I thought it went very poorly. But they said it went great, so I guess that's how it went great.
Well, you say it to the client.
They know. Oh, yeah. And all the listeners, they know. Everybody at Twitch is screaming at
if
us.
Scotty and Christine were here, I would say, man, I had to do a lot of hard lifting for you guys. Wow, come on, speak up, you turds. No, I would not. I'm joking.
Thank God they don't listen. They would never listen to this.
Why would you?
They're too smart.
Oh my God! Hey, I noticed on our trip. I know we got to take a break here, but I noticed on our trip that that you and I were like the only two people not reading. Everybody else in our family reads.
I'm not my son.
No, they play with Maisie's books, or they had books.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
throw them around.
My frisbee's got pages.
Listen, they got my brain. I just see Tommy. Max is not so much. But Tommy, just being able to look at each other's eyes. So we're like, we know. We'll stick together. The world's against us. They want us to read and all this other stuff. We'll show them.
What's them stand for? ST. I don't know.
You know. All right. Bye-bye. Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha and Butler are here, and you and I are going into business. We're buying an ice cream truck.
But turning it into a knife sharpening truck because...
Why not both?
Knife sharpening ice cream?
Ice cream on one side, knife on the other.
Knife sharpening for the adults and
we
ice
call
cream for
it
the kids. Knife scream.
There it is.
Knife
Thank you.
scream?
So you were...
No, I don't like it.
You were bringing up, Samantha, that you haven't seen an ice cream truck in a while.
What does that mean?
It seems like they're few and far between. There was one that used to come by my house like a month or two ago, and he came by twice, and I thought it was going to be a regular thing, and then never saw him again.
Yeah.
But
The trucks are used. I don't like it if it's a van, it's off-putting.
this was a stereotypical square boxy
Yeah.
ice cream truck.
I like
with
the standard.
with the house air conditioner on the outside.
Yes.
But so my question, like, what kind of money are they making? Because this guy, like, he comes by, and then I'm like, one SpongeBob ice cream and one Sonic the Hedgehog. Right?
I know exactly.
From Max and Tommy.
I know exactly, with a gumball eyeball.
And the guy's
Worst
like,
ice creams.
that'll be $4. Like, $2.
Oh my God.
And then I'm like, here's $5. And he's like, thank you for the tip, And then I'm like, you made $5, but the
it
profit.
cost you $5 a gas, that big diesel
Right.
engine.
Well,
gas.
the AC,
yeah.
the freezer that you're running. Plus, I mean, even if those were like 60 cents or whatever, like,
You got to sling a lot of ice cream.
Tracy,
Exactly.
Tracy says the prices are a little bit different in her neighborhood. In our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, if you want to watch the show live. Tracy says that she got, I think, 4 ice creams, and it came to a little over $25.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
What?
that's a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, like that. See, that to me is why I probably wouldn't do it, because I would assume that it would be closer to 20 plus. If you're buying an ice cream for me and Andrea and Maisie, it's going to be closer to $15. I feel like $5
like
an ice cream.
$5 an ice cream.
Yeah.
It
should be expensive. You're paying for the convenience of the man driving the ice cream to your door, right? So, of course, it's going to be more expensive. You'd be stupid to think it's going to be cheaper.
But even with that, I guess, I mean, if you're selling $20 to a family and you hit like your normal, dozen families or whatever, I guess you're talking about like, you're making a couple $100, like, maybe $250 a day. And I guess at that amount, that's pretty good, and then you take care of gas and stuff. And if you want just an easy, chill job, you're not in it to get.
What you did there.
Well, you're not in it to get rich, right? You're in it to like drive an ice cream truck around.
Bring joy to children.
Yeah.
Is that worth anything to them after a long period of time? I feel like that's got to be not worth much.
I think it's what dumb old men tell news stations when they get really old, to justify the fact that they've been bored the last 30 years of their life.
Oh, you know what?
You know what I mean? Like, they always interview that 95-year-old man. They're like, and he's still out there every single day, giving the children Hershey kisses and walking them across. And, if you could really get into his brain, I kind of feel like he'd be like, you know what? Yes, I'd rather have all the girls and the money. But this is all I got. So what the F do you want me to do? I want the kids. I give up the kisses because it's all I got.
So... I'm glad you brought up old people giving out treats because
it's bad now because there's a virus.
Well,
there's a lady trying to sell me flowers yesterday in traffic. I said, nobody. I wanted to roll my window down and say, lady, nobody's going to want your roses right now because there's a virus.
Nah,
she was like standing there looking into my window.
That's fine.
Don't do that.
Yeah, she got plenty of customers. Speaking of the flower thing, did you ever watch that documentary on HBO, Lady in the Dale?
Oh my God, if you bring this up one more time.
I keep forgetting.
But that ties into the flowers on the street corners, whatever. Anyway, so the ice cream truck, if you're making $250, $300 a day, I could see, but there's upkeep of the car and your insurance. For sure, we should talk to Blanchard about that.
You need an electric ice cream truck because you can hear the music better.
You have to have special food truck insurance, which is probably way more because there's.
But I bet a lot of them don't.
But
they don't get checked.
You're not making the product either, though, right? I bet you it's less than if you were in there handling it. You're not really handling anything.
Everything's wrapped.
Well, what I'm talking about
it's still a business on wheels.
You're driving a truck with music blasting to attract kids to run out in front of you.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
I do that
you
now.
just put watch for children on the back or whatever.
Yeah, I do that now. I put my windows down and I play Blackpink.
I'm sure the general is going to be like, that's not enough. You're going to pay us a lot.
You don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
You just do it.
Never tell the general anything. Only whispered into the penguin's ear. You never tell him.
We need to talk. We talked to the ice cream boat guy, but the ice cream truck.
We never. Ice cream boat guy. Come on, that guy's not a real ice cream man.
What if we had
imposter.
a Tom and Dan merch truck that drove around? Eric drives it around.
I sold one shirt today, guys.
Great job. Keep driving, you idiot.
$85 to fill the tank.
You better sell 5 shirts to come back to the house.
The goddamn general wanted $250 a month.
What did you talk to the general? I told you to whisper to the penguin, you idiot.
Bye.
Everybody knows the general has a cartoon penguin friend, right? Yeah, the ads with Shaquille O'Neal. I don't think he's doing those anymore. He moved way up. He got Carnival.
Oh, yeah. Shaquille O'Neal is quietly building a $1 billion empire.
Yeah, what's he worth now, Sam?
He may be.
Look up Shaq. What he's worth.
Have you watched?
It's over $500 million or something. It's insane.
Gotta be. The new General commercials where they're like, we know that our commercials look bobo before, and that's why you hesitated using us as insurance, but we're great and we're legitimate. Have you seen those?
No. Oh, I
They
gotta
make
find
fun
that.
of the fact that their other older commercials look like crap. And I thought it was an interesting move because they're right. Oh, he's worth $400 million.
Yeah. It's almost he just got into endorsements and got into that lane.
And he invested well, but he also has 12 kids, so.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean. I mean, his yacht is more expensive than the upkeep of those 12 kids.
Which one was it?
It's like one of the newer commercials. I don't know.
These are the Shaquille ones.
I think he might have been in it as well.
Really?
I think because now he's straight up the spokesperson besides the general. You see Shaq in there more than you see the general.
Oh, they're phasing out the general.
I think so.
What?
Man, they're going to give a role that was meant for a short person to a tall person, and that's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
Let's.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of anything to be entertaining. All right. You ready?
Yeah, let's. This is.
What are we doing?
Let's do segment 2.
Did I save
Monday?
Yeah.
Did I save this?
I don't know.
What? That 5 minutes was for where?
Friday 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the call out to a rich person. I want to do the. I want to do a segment where.
You think rich people listen to this?
No.
Yeah.
But
No, there are.
But someone knows.
I get emails from people that are way rich all the time.
Well, yes, rich is subjective. So
well, they want for nothing.
I'm talking once you don't even have to be that rich, but I've seen what rich people, and I'm not even talking about unlimited money. I'm talking about just you have over $500,000 in the bank, and you making, a higher end of six figures. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just you got a good amount of money, but the amount of money they spend on upkeep and like landscaping and things that we wouldn't even think about.
No, it's crazy.
It's absurd. And then like even remember the $15,000 photographs that we heard that story in Colorado and stuff. It's like you start spending this kind of money that to us is like, oh my God, why? And because, okay, well, let's talk about it.
All right. You want to start?
Yep.
3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here.
So I want to talk to a rich person just about the amount of money they spend on things that us poros would consider absurd and ridiculous, and they probably wouldn't want to mention it too much because they're like understand that it's absurd. This amount of money they spend,
like if they had a retainer,
like
for a mentor that was $1,000 a month,
or not even that, like basic landscaping,
okay.
Or like,
I mean, that's you, right?
No
plants and
no.
Well, he does a lot of his own stuff. He's out there in his tiny
get
shorts.
The plants from somewhere.
See, money's all subjective, and being rich is all. I'm rich now compared to poor Tom Van.
That's true.
And I look at myself now, and I'm like, that's rich. He's rich. But almost every one of our clients and other like
rich.
some of our
Seth?
listeners, even
Rich.
Seth, I'm poor.
He's rich.
Yeah, but not.
He's got a fountain, right?
Yeah,
but he's got some turtles dye in it,
and he's also MMA rich. He's got some investments. He don't got
MMA rich. That sounds very trashy.
He probably he's 100,000. He's 100,000-aire.
You think?
Yeah,
Let's see what
he's
his
not.
net worth is.
He's not a millionaire.
He's got a bunch of properties, and
if he liquidated everything, he'd have $1 million. But that's not
don't
real
tell
millionaire.
him he's liquidating. He'll think that that's some sort of a disease.
So, but when you talk to super rich people about what they spend on maintenance and just bills, it's absurd, and it's fascinating to me. I don't know if anybody cares about it as much as I do, but like
I might have something here from our Twitch chat room. Mama Cray Cray, don't take the name. It says, I review people's banking for my job, lending, and it's crazy what they would spend money on. I work with a very, very wealthy people, and the pool, yard maintenance, house cleaning, etc. is nuts, not to mention car payments over $2,000. Can't even fathom it. A $2,000 car payment makes my stomach hurt.
Oh, yeah, and that's just the
it makes
beginning.
me sick.
And
I love cars.
I heard a story about a rich people got married, and they got married kind of like in a small environment, like just with a couple friends and family.
Okay, intimate setting.
And it was kind of impromptu, right? And they did it. And they did it on a ski slope, let's say, and they wanted to hire a photographer just to ride up the lift and take pictures of them, with their family, and then they were going to ski down. That was it. It was just that was a little thing.
That sounds cool.
And then the photographer was $15,000.
Oh my God.
But
that's more than my whole wedding.
Oh my God, you and me both.
And so you're like, what? Like, why? And it's just because. And this is the business to get into when you start catering to the rich, because when you get into when that's your clientele, it doesn't matter what the price is. What they want is the absolute best,
the uniqueness, the one-off.
But for the absolute best, you could basically name your price, and $15,000 to someone who has millions is $1,500 to someone who has hundreds of thousands. You know what I'm saying? It's all subjective. It's $15 to us, or whatever it is, or $150.
At some point, it just becomes like the last Wu-Tang album, where you can put any price on it and somebody will want it.
And I've heard people's maintenance bills, like property maintenance. Say they have a nice property, and say they have two properties.
You know who you should ask?
It could be upwards of $3,000 a month or more. We're starting getting into $30,000-$40,000 a year. To maintain your boat.
What about Mike Busey? You could ask him. I bet you he'd tell you, because he's a pretty straight. He shoots straight.
That's
and-
true.
He gets a bunch of free juggalo labor.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, maybe, but
Like, you can stay
but
here,
he might
maintain
get
the
you.
grounds.
I'm just trying to help get you
Yeah,
closer to what you want because he would be. I know he has a massive house. I know it's massive, and I know he's massive acreage.
It's yeah,
And he's
what
gotta-
he spends some maintenance is insane, but he's getting a lot of people to help him with
He's
that.
just above MMA. Rich.
I'm talking the rich guy that has like say a property in West
Like an
Palm Beach,
estate.
An estate in West
Yeah.
Palm Beach has a couple different estates. Like if you ask that guy, like, what is your now? First, he probably doesn't even know, right? It's just like
Yeah.
someone's taking care of him.
For
but,
sure he doesn't
But
know.
if he found out, I'd love for him to tell us because it's like, oh, just the maintenance alone to keep my property in West Palm Beach, and that's a caretaker, like a yard, like
crew. You'd
a
have a
groundskeeper, someone that
Pool guy.
starts, pool guy,
Yeah.
fountain guy.
Yep, yep.
My pool guy does my fountains too, and then he's like dock maintenance. He handles the winch.
Maid.
Oh my God!
Like,
You just found my favorite job.
cleaning and stuff. Like
You found my favorite job. Remember when we interviewed Travis Pastrana?
it could be $30,000 a month or something insane. You're
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
Like why? And no one even lives there.
Do you remember when we interviewed Travis Pastrana and he had a guy working behind him that was like just kind of like the caretaker?
Oh, yeah,
That
yeah.
guy's job of just going around and starting all of the four-wheelers and the
Yeah,
dirt
yeah.
bikes and running them, wiping them down, cleaning them, making sure the garage. That I don't know what that guy's salary would be, but I would imagine it's not cheap to have a guy that does that.
But that's his buddy too, and like if you follow all the Nitro
it's
Circus,
still
like,
an expenditure, right?
yeah.
He's
like
still getting paid.
but he's probably making 50, 60 a year,
Oh my God.
full time
for
job.
a dream job for mine. Just go start those
keep-
dirt bikes, ride them around, swipe them down.
Yeah, but it starts to get insane where you're like, oh my God, like the amount of money. Like think about, okay, if you wanted to take, like say you're super rich and you want to take your family and some extended family to Snowmass and stay in a
One of those
chateau
chateaus there, yeah.
on the side of
Where the lifts
mountain,
are, yeah.
where the lifts are, where you just literally you walk out your door and then you put your skis on and the lifts
Some
right
you can
there.
ski.
And
Yeah,
then
it's
there-
crazy.
It's like you start putting together the map, like the lift tickets, the stay, the hotel, the food. And
Yeah.
it becomes like a $50,000 vacation for a week. You're like $50,000 vacation. Like
I feel
it's
bad when we spend
absurd
that
money.
grand on airfare.
But-
I feel gross.
It becomes totally unreal. Like you're just like, how can it be that expensive?
Question
How-
for you. Do you think that in any way we get it wrong when we say, because we have a habit of always saying, oh, these uber rich guys, and then we all just did it where we were like, well, they don't know what they're spending. They don't know what they're spending. Do you think more of those guys, because they are that wealthy, might have that stereotype wrong and that they might actually know what they spend because they're so fiscally, they're almost like addicted to like it's almost like a control thing, right? For some of them, I would imagine there's got to be a guy.
I'm sure, yeah, but he's wasting his time because any smart person would say, "Who care? I'm going to focus 100% of my energy on making money. Doesn't
Right.
matter what I spend. I'm going to start focusing on what I spend and trying to, what's the word you're trying to, you go past $1 to save a penny.
Pinch a penny or-
Well, it's like you're looking at what to save instead of what to make, and
Right.
you need to focus. It's like no rich person should ever be doing any maintenance on their own. They should just focus on what they know how to do, and everything else you just pay for, and that's what they do.
Right.
But then it gets to a point where you call a pool company, right? You buy a mansion in West Palm Beach, and you call a pool company, or your guy does, and he's like, all right, I need to maintain my pools and keep them perfect for my client,
Yeah.
and my fountains perfect for my client, and the pool company's like, all right, well, that'll be $800 a month, and then
Yeah.
he's like, all right. And then like, there's no
Yeah.
shopping the best prices. Like, that's what I want. And can you do it 100%? And when you start to deal with those type of clients, I think it's like insane amounts of money you could quote them.
I think you're right. And I have a bit of that, not because I'm not anywhere close to being wealthy, but I will say that I do use places' reputations sometimes. It's kind of like the example you were using about a ski trip versus like a smaller slope versus like Snowmass. And I have been, not always, but I have been a big believer in you get what you pay for, because normally when I opt in for something and maybe do some research on it, I'm going to get a bit, you know what I mean? Like, I try not to cheap out on things.
Yeah.
I've been burned a few times on it, but not very often.
Although you start realizing like these companies will quote these super rich people higher than it would, like the same square footage pool. Of course you quote them higher because they don't care what you quote them. You know what I'm saying? They're not like, well, wait a minute. Bud Muds said he'd do it for $35 cheaper.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
No.
$35. You saying those words is wasting your time.
Right.
For $35 because you're so rich, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. And so they take advantage of it.
Rich.
Although, but it's,
We'll never be.
Once you get to
I gotta get a side hustle.
I wonder what the amount of money is where anything else, it doesn't matter, right? It's like, so you get to a point where it's almost becomes, I know it's not infinity, nothing's infinity,
obviously you'd
but
have to adjust for the world, but
you get
inflation and whatever happens.
you get to a certain point where it's not going to increase your life any better the next million you make, right? Like, it's like, so once you get to 10 million, if you make 11 million, your life does not change. If you make 19 million, your life doesn't change.
Okay, I'd almost like a bank account that would budget how I'm living and kind of predict. You know, they have all like AI and things where they can actually use what I've done in my past since day of birth till now. It would be cool if I had a bank account that actually would sort of plan the amount of money that I'm going to need for the end of my life, so I can store that away. And then once I do hit or get close to, and let's be conservative with it, to a finite number that I need to sail in without ever having to work again, it just says, you're good. You know what I mean? That would be cool.
Andrea can figure that out. Like she could plan and figure out that. Like your monthly expenses.
I'm not
like,
that guy.
Like, here's how much money I need to
Bernie
live.
could do that.
And I know people.
He's offered
I'm not
us.
saying people can't do it. I'm saying I can't do it.
Right. I can't either.
I hate math.
Yeah, I hate math as well.
And also, it also involves you predicting when you're gonna die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's morbid.
Well,
Yeah.
There's also
like, I've been doing that for years.
So, and then you're always gonna overshoot it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, like,
I don't know.
I'm looking up.
I'm an
like,
undershooter, buddy.
I'm gonna
Like next year. It's me.
I need enough money to last me I think I'll die at 95.
95.
And you talk to me like, no.
You're working so hard.
You'll never make it. Like, you'll be like 75. That's a stretch. Like, you got 20 years. Too much money.
That's
like
awesome.
you need to like spend it now. You should spend it now. So yeah, it would be fascinating to talk to Elon Musk about if he even thinks 1 second about his daily or monthly or yearly expenses or what he wants.
But he's
or
a
money,
weirdo.
or money even matters.
He
to him.
probably doesn't know.
Like, I heard him like on Rogan talk about he didn't stop wanting to, like, he doesn't own any houses, or at least back then he said he wanted to sell his house and just rent everything. Because he said, like, I don't know, for whatever reason,
I've kind of
owning
wanted to do that just for change, you know, but I don't want to move.
because it doesn't matter to him, and he could rent houses fully furnished in anywhere he wants
anywhere
to
you
live.
want. It's unlimited money.
And that
God.
unlimited
Humble
money.
brag, Rogan.
It's the reality.
Well, I think
though.
he was asked the question, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, I think it
but
was
still,
like, yeah.
it's like,
And he's so much of a computer, he's going to give you the answer. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's not like he's not going to answer it.
could rent houses for poor people.
Well,
I'll just rent fully furnished houses and never buy anything.
I'm sure. I don't think he said that. I'm projecting
Oh,
to what.
okay.
Yeah.
But that's what you do, though.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna. What is he going to? What is it called? The damn rooms to go. You're not going to Waterbed City and
Man, I hope I run into Rogan at a room to go.
No, that was Elon Musk saying
Elon
that.
Musk, not
Oh,
Rogan.
sorry,
yeah.
sorry.
No, Rogan's got money. He ain't got Elon Musk money.
No, Elon Musk has never-ending money.
He's Mr. Money.
Like, yeah. That's. I
well.
mean, when you get into billion, he was the richest man in the world. You know, I don't know if that changed.
They're still
Bezos
kinda-
and
still
Amazon.
back and forth.
So when you have that, it's an unlimited. It doesn't matter, and so that's weird to me. It's like when like
Gotta be weird to him, too.
currency doesn't matter anymore. But you just switch your thinking, right? You're like, he's probably totally focused on his business and making it to Mars and what SpaceX and everything.
Whatever he wants.
So it's just like, as long as I can make it to work and do these things and have the best comfort in the world.
Normally that doesn't happen, though, because you see a lot of people, though, that will get an endless amount of money, or like, or maybe not people that are business people. Let's say entertainers that have a certain amount of fame. Not business people. Business people probably hold it together better.
Yeah.
But if you get, you get a rapper or a rock guy that ends up getting a pretty lucrative contract or a big deal, and they will not necessarily can use that money to continue their life. Sometimes it just ends their life.
And it also depends on if you grew up having money or not, right? Because if you've never had money,
No
you're most
responsibility,
likely going to
yeah.
mismanage it.
You don't
Of
have
course,
the
yeah,
skill set, sure.
Nowadays, I think the internet kind of stopped a lot of that because now everything is so easy to see that if you did, like, say you were, you got drafted in the second round of the NFL, and the stereotype of like you get a huge bonus and whatever,
Sure, yeah.
and then you start spending your money. I feel like you would be showing it on social media and people would be warning you or something. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like
You'd hope so.
in
but
the
I mean,
90s.
there's a lot of people that also will kind of surround themselves around you because they're going to try and get money too.
Yes. Now, in the 90s, your entourage would just egg you on, be like, yeah, buy that
Yeah.
Ferrari, because it benefited them because
Yeah.
they would
Right.
drive it on the weekends or when you were in
Yeah.
France or whatever. But now, through social media, now you are exposed to the voices of people that are not your entourage, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they're telling you, like, hey, buddy, like,
Yeah,
you
don't
know,
be stupid, or
like,
that guy's
don't-
taking advantage of you.
Yeah, or like, so now other people that weren't, like, because that's not like MC Hammer spent all his money because he literally was in a bubble of only his entourage. Now your bubble is your social media following, and they'll tell you your ass, right?
Yeah,
Like,
most of the time.
are they even looking at that?
I
though?
don't think they're looking at it like that.
I
They're
don't-
not looking. They're not thinking about your personal finances.
think
if
they
anything, they
can,
might be like,
though.
"Oh wow, that's a cool car." Like no one's gonna be like, "Hey man, you better watch your budget." You know,
I think people do, though, say
I think
that.
they do because I don't think there's a definitive answer
I've
for.
never seen anybody
Well, no, hold
say
on.
that.
It would depend on how it would depend on your personality, right? If you come across like a Tom Hanks on social media, I feel like there are people that care about him and would want to look out for him. If you come across like I don't know. Rick Ross, maybe people wouldn't care if every picture of you is in a Wingstop or you're rich or on a yacht. You know what I mean? Like, I do think that whatever you put out maybe might be what you get back, just like in a real relationship. So if you're caring to people on your social media, then there might be people that would be caring back to you and say like, hey, that guy, or I'm looking out for you. Don't do that,
Maybe
That's my take.
teammates, because think about like, okay, going back to the NFL player, that the stereotype is you get a huge contract, you spend all your money, you're
Yeah.
broke after, and they got a lot of programs now that like people like that will try to teach you.
Well, a lot of
accountants and-
ex-players have done that. I think
Ex-players,
Deion
yeah.
Sanders has a bunch of them where he tries to straighten these guys out, Like,
So think if a new wide receiver is coming out of college and then buys a Lambo and some other, like a Deion Sanders,
Yeah.
some other person that follows this guy says like, hey, you shouldn't be buying
Yeah.
this. You
I
need
think
to save
Russell
your
Wilson
money.
does
You know what I'm
this
saying?
too.
a
Yeah.
mentor, yeah. You
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
find either a financial advisor or a mentor that's maybe been through the same thing.
No,
that
hold
you're
on.
doing.
I
But
think
if,
they
if your friends and family, all haven't come from money, they're not going to be too like conscious of thinking to keep your money safe. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
wouldn't.
yeah.
But the other people, the mentors or the teammates, would see what you're doing on social media. That's what all I'm saying. It's like you can't do it really. You can't hide anything nowadays. Like when you buy the super mansion and the Lambo and the nice vacations and stuff, you're showing the world that, right? And then that's when people would be like, hey, you're spending too much. You can't keep this lifestyle up, blah, blah, blah. As opposed to in the 90s, no one was, people knew you were doing it, but the only people that were talking to you were your entourage.
yeah.
Like they weren't seeing all the money you're spending, as opposed to now you're showing everybody your business. Everybody knows your business, right? Like
Yeah.
If you post it, yeah.
if you post it, for sure.
But everybody posts their business. That's a pretty common thing to do,
Well,
especially if you're a
it's
celebrity.
part of society now, right?
Yeah.
It's like almost like you're supposed to do it. It's almost like part of communicating.
I mean, look at even with our vacation, we're posting all our business of our private vacation of
I
like.
put my credit card numbers up there.
Well,
and-
it's just like here's where we are, here's where
Yeah.
we're going. This is where it's like
Yeah.
they follow you, they follow your life. There's no secrets anymore.
yeah, it is interesting. I'm just trying to double back and see what the chat room's saying a little bit about it. But yeah, that it is interesting to see. Like I don't even know kind of where we went on that one, because we started with like landscaping and rich people costs.
Oh, yeah,
and then,
yeah.
you touched on something that really kind of resonated with me, was when we've been kicking around mentor a couple of weeks ago, and how we don't understand it. And I think now, or I haven't found like a use for me, even though when people say it, I'm like, oh, I feel like I should have one, but I don't really have anybody that fills that void for me. But the example you just used about having an NFL player help a younger NFL player That totally makes sense to me. Like that
Yeah, just
sounds
giving
like a
advice.
necessary mentor. That
Yeah.
I don't know if every job you require one.
Well, in any job, if there's someone that has done it before you and gone through the stuff, they could help you with advice. Like, that's. I mean, I feel like every job has that, right? Where it's like someone did your job before and has done it longer and said like, "Hey, this is the mistakes I made. Easy for you not to, except for like this, the one
for
damn problem
our
is
job.
our podcast business. It didn't exist, so there's no one to really talk to, and they're all so different.
Yeah, it's all case by case.
Yeah. We've talked to other people, and everybody's running their thing a little bit differently.
So basically, I just want you to get Deion Sanders to be my mentor. He's on Cameo if you want to ask him.
He was good.
Still fast.
How fast do you think he could run?
Right now? Oh, I don't know. Those guys,
You think he could beat any lineman in the
No, I
in the
don't.
NFL?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he could.
That's a good one.
Because there's
Fast linemen, but
Hold on.
Deion was a special kind of fast.
There's a video of Deion Sanders. I think it's Deion Sanders racing. What's the wide receiver for the Chiefs? Super fast guy.
Hill?
Tyreek Hill. And
Oh no, that's T.O., isn't it?
Oh, it's T.O.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's up there.
He's
not
he's
as old
close.
as Deion.
He's like
but-
a couple steps behind.
Yeah.
But he
he's
was going.
He was still
and
fast.
he looks.
Oh, Jack,
I mean, you
yeah.
look at the guy and you're like, oh my God, doesn't matter how fast you run. Look at your body. My
Yeah,
God.
He didn't turn into a chungus.
No.
He was on a lark.
He'll look like that until he dies.
He's like, I'm 2 seconds slow. 2 seconds? That's it? You're 2 seconds slower than your best.
I watched that video. It's funny you mentioned that. When Andrea and I watched that, she goes, how old is he? And I think we looked it up, and the difference was a lot between the two receivers. It was like, 8 years or something like that? I'm like, how fast is that guy?
Yeah. All right, bye-bye.